once again starting this event, or this part of this event, with Deluxe Ponytail. Oh, there's Kali and Eula. Fantastic. Hello, baby Gexes. This is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is the summer event for 2023.
Hey, it's the Traveler in Paimon.
Hey, it's you. It's so good to see you two again.
Did you rest well?
I'm feeling refreshed.
This is a comfortable place to rest. I guess that's one thing here that's better than the desert. But other than that, there's not much going for this place.
Oh, for real?
Saying things like that isn't going to help, Adia.
Oh, I love Kali. Being positive already.
But it's the truth. The desert is full of terrible memories for me. Being there was like... yeah, like wading through thick mud.
Oh my god.
That's a weird way to put it. Actually, if you hadn't mentioned it, Paimon would have already forgotten that this domain is in the desert.
100% something
No,
like
you
until we got
mean.
to the edges, right?
The air here isn't at all like the desert. It's very humid. Almost as if we're in the rainforest. It's a very familiar feeling for me.
So Kali feels like she's at home.
Everyone looks well rested. If you're ready, we can start making our way to the jungle north of here.
Good luck, everyone. I'll be rooting for you.
Thank you, Idia. Thank you.
Hold on. I said we, didn't I? No need to say goodbye, because you're coming too.
Huh?
She says,
wait.
blue hairs, we gotta stick
I'm just
together.
the
We both got blue hair.
You can't back out this time, Adia. The manager of the fairgrounds is waiting to see you. She said Adia is the only person who could help.
Yes, Kale and I discovered a fairgrounds in the forest.
That sounds
The
freaking
person
awesome.
in charge of it seems to be a Spotamod scholar. A scholar? But what's she doing there? Researching the forest ley lines?
Oh, I wish there were ley lines here that I could ever study. Anyway, I know who you're talking about. I'd better come along then.
Idia's voice actor is so freaking good. Like, so funny. Like, and like so good in the role as well. I love it. By the way, both, you know, the blue hair is different tones for both. Well, kind of different tones for Idia and Eula. And they both look awesome. I will also say that it's so cool once again seeing Kale and Eula together, because again, I love these different combinations that happen in this game. Like, it's so fun. Like, it's very rare, I suppose, that, like, you know, as we said, combinations don't work in this game. But I really am excited to see them together, like, anyway, you know what I mean? I've no doubt that it's going to be a fun combination. I've no doubt that it's going to be a fun journey with them through the Act 2 or Part 2 of this event. But I'm just still very excited to see it. And adding, you know, the mixture, I suppose, of Adia, who is, like, very funny, hilarious. And, of course, our characters as well, who already know Eula and Kale very well, too. It's going to be really fun. This event so far has been an event of very funny moments, some very emotional moments, very good character moments. And I feel like that happens, like, with any event I've reacted to. Like, the character moments are insanely good. Ruben who played this in the video, by the way, thank you for actually uploading this. Way better at collecting items than I am, I'll tell you how much. Already better than me at collecting items. I'm really interested to see what this fairground is going to be like, though. For real. Some hilly churls up here as well. Wow, the scale is actually really impressive, isn't it? It's really impressive. Now, Ruben, I like a person after my own heart.
Pay for that.
I, for one, would also maybe skip the hilly churls. I just put on the barber healing and go. So there's obviously, like, in this event, there's, like, different puzzles everywhere, which is pretty sick.
Finally, someone has arrived.
Wait,
Sorry to keep you waiting, Maimuna. We've
Maimuna.
brought Adia with us.
so there has to be something to this, like the
Thank
blue
you,
hair
Kali.
and like the blue eyes, right?
It's been
Because, like,
quite some time since I've seen you, Idia.
right, there has to be.
To be honest, I didn't think you'd actually show up. If anything, I thought you'd be curled up somewhere crying alone.
No more rivalries. No more. You're all sweet to each other.
Hey, you shouldn't be saying things like that.
Oh my God, Eula putting some.
Doesn't seem to be the first
not putting
time
someone in their place,
Paimon's heard
but
someone say that about Adia, though.
Eula's like very quickly, you know, like, I guess what she perceives as standing up for someone, like, who deserves to be stand up for. I don't know what the situation is. Maybe Adia is somebody who like I suppose slacks off. But even if she is, like, crying somewhere, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? We'll support her anyway. She's hilarious.
You want to see me cry? Fine.
Oh my god, I love her. I actually love her. I love her so much.
No, please don't.
All right, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah,
Now,
I know. I
who
do
are
love
these
Eula
two?
standing up for someone like that. It's really fun. And fits her character quite well. By the way, the reason I love a character be like, fine, I'll cry right now. I like love the drama of it. I love it so much. I love it. I love that like we're watching a character basically be like, it's like just hey, you want me to cry right now? I'll do it right now, right here, right now. I freaking love that. I love the
Lucky
dramatics.
for you that I found them. You'd better be more careful about how you speak to them, okay?
Tell him, Adia.
Of
Tell her,
course.
Adia.
Good to meet you. You may call me Maymuna. For the sake of time, we should forego the usual pleasantries. Please follow me.
Again, different tone of blue, right? There's a darker blue on the top of Adia's head. Maybe there's a darker blue on Mayuna's head as well. Look at this place. So freaking cool. Now, we know that Kale has an interesting history with fairgrounds, but hopefully that it's something that doesn't still bother her, especially after what happened in the Mondstadt fair. I'm hoping anyway that it doesn't still affect her. Obviously, it's always gonna be in the back of your mind, but like that was a scary situation for her. That looks so cool. It's like I'll be gonna post the tent. Looks amazing. Great. Okay, she's happy about it. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Amazing, isn't it? I helped make it. What fun would a fairground be without a tent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And I think worries dissipate almost instantly because, like, for me anyway, because like what Kale has done over the years and having her new family and meeting Amber and all the people in Mondstadt, then like obviously meeting her new family and her two dads with Sino and Tanari and all this stuff, and then meeting Kaveh and Alhaitham and all these characters. What's really happened is like probably like the stuff that's happened in the past. While it still obviously would affect her and like, you know, in her mind and maybe hurt her a little bit still, I feel like she can put them into like proper context now. Like she knows that she wasn't actually in danger in that box anymore, right? But at the time it was terrifying. But I really think that like the years of like, you know, healing from all that stuff, even though she's not fully healed, like I feel like, you know, my worries are dissipating about the idea of like relating it to a fairground, I suppose, like as well.
I knew you couldn't be so pathetic. You just act modest all the time.
Oh
to
no,
hide your
Paimon!
actual abilities. Huh?
Yeah, that's not a...
What is it, Kale?
Sorry. I'm not sure if I should tell you.
What's wrong?
I'm afraid it might dampen the mood.
No.
That's not important. Please, just speak your mind.
Well, there are lots of vendor booths set up here, but there's no one running them. In fact, there's no one at this fair at all.
Yeah.
It looks pretty deserted.
Yeah, there's like no one running it at all.
The truth is, this used to be an exciting and bustling place.
Okay.
But just a few days ago, something happened, and it seemed like...
Just a few days?
The world was suddenly flipped upside down?
Yes, exactly.
Like the way Adia was describing it.
Something fell from the central hub into the tent and knocked down the crystal light that was hanging at the top.
Oh, the crystal light.
Mm-hmm. I remember a certain someone said that we should have beautiful lights to celebrate at a fair, and made us that crystal light. But once the light fell, the tent became a complete mess and the Hydro-Eidolons were trapped inside. Just when I was at my wit's end, a man from the Lawrence clan came and offered his
Eula.
assistance.
Wait, he offered to help you?
Yes, and he refused to listen to any of my warnings. He just walked straight into the tent and then...
Yes? And then?
Yeah, don't leave us hanging here. What happened?
Paimon's interested in the story for sure.
And that's it. He became trapped inside along with the Hydro-Eidolons.
Yet another victim.
Oh no, we have to do something. We can't just leave him there, Maymuna.
Yes, and there's Kale,
I
you know,
know,
thinking
but
right
the
away we have to do
situation
something.
inside might be more difficult than you think. You should mentally prepare yourselves.
Wait, what do you mean? How bad is this?
Just talking about it is a waste of time. Since we're already here, let's go and scout out the situation
Oh, she's
ourselves.
amazing.
All right, this way, please. There used to be a large stage inside.
Such
but
a
after
cool
everything got shaken up,
location.
it
So, looks
seems
so
the
great.
very nature of the entire place was altered. The lamps and crystal light that were hanging above have all fallen down, which makes repairs near impossible.
Okay. I can't get over how cool this is.
Wait,
It's
so
so
you
cool.
mean it's difficult to move around in there?
Yes, mainly because of the lights.
Okay.
Do any of you have experience being on stage? Once the stage lights turn on, everyone's attention is focused on you.
It's interesting this is pre-Fontaine, right? You okay, Colin?
I can't stand that feeling. Having
Okay.
everyone's attention focused solely on me would just make me feel terrible.
That's understandable. That's so understandable.
Me too! I'm no good at speaking in front of people. And then to have everyone staring at you. Oh, just the thought of it makes me shudder.
Yeah, it can get very nerve-wracking being on
Sounds
stage
like
for
you
sure.
have some things you haven't been able to let go of yet.
Please don't laugh.
Oh,
I'm trying my
Eula's not
best
gonna
to
laugh.
change that, but there are still some things I can't overcome. Like when there's a lot of people around, or when people are staring at me.
I love that they're bringing this up because we talked about how, like, obviously, like, there's a lot of stuff she's overcome, but there's gonna be stuff in the back of her mind that still affects her, right? Like, as we said, there's gonna be some stuff that still affects her. And, like, it's so understandable, especially with all she went through, to, like, be a little bit nervous about people staring at you or looking at you or noticing you. You know, it makes perfect sense.
No, there's nothing funny about that. And you know what? It's not a
Oh
bad
my
thing
god,
to
Eula's
care
gonna
when
come in
other
with
people are
some
looking.
wisdom.
That's my opinion anyway. Think about it. Only people who have high standards
Oh,
for
wow.
themselves would worry about failing to meet others' expectations.
That's such a cool way of looking at it,
You
right?
have many good qualities, Kale.
Oh.
I bet if you had to learn dance since childhood like myself,
Oh my god.
then you'd be an even better dancer than me.
Sweethearts. Absolute sweethearts.
No way! That would be impossible.
I am so happy she has
can
someone like
relate.
Eula around her as
I know
well.
exactly how she feels.
Yeah, Idia?
Maybe we should find a time for you to learn with me.
Oh my
and
god.
one day you will become an outstanding dancer too.
Could you imagine?
By that time, you'll be so focused on performing your beautiful moves that you'll no longer worry about an audience watching you.
Oh my god.
Eula's so passionate about this that she's practically glowing now.
But could you imagine Eula? Like, again, this is what I mean, like, with the different, like, I'm gonna say it all the time, the combos that they put with these characters. And, like, the idea of, like, Eula, who is someone who, like, is very outgoing and confident, right, in a lot of the things she does, is very, like, out there and eccentric as well, too. But also, like, a very supportive and, like, will defend people, like, in the right way when it is right to defend people. And we saw it earlier, you know, like, when she thought that someone was being insulted, she's like, hey, enough, you know? I think that's such a good influence to have her on Kale as well.
Really? You do that? You wouldn't think I look stupid and
Never.
secretly laugh at
If
me.
anyone did that, Eula would
you?
kill them. Eula would murder them.
You really think I'm that kind of person? Fine. Vengeance will be mine.
That's the thing she says, Kale, by the way.
Of course not. Alright. Please teach me.
Actually, Eula says vengeance will be mine so much that I imagine that when they were traveling together, for sure, she probably heard it once or twice. Right? Like, I'm like, oh, that's just not something she says, Kale. She's probably heard it like 10 times by now.
Seems there's no need for me to warn you again. Anyway, you just need to open the curtain and you'll be able to see the stage.
That's awesome. That's so sick. What a great... Oh, they're together. They're in a party together. I love this little, like, relationship they have now as well. Rotate the lamp. This event is amazing. This event is truly amazing. Look at the size of the stage.
What's that thing in the middle there?
That's my crystal light. It's been locked up.
Well,
Someone
let's
locked it
figure
up?
out a way to fix this. Looks like we need to raise the platform underneath the crystal light.
If I remember correctly, the stage controls should be somewhere around here.
Yeah, it's very cool because the thing is, like, Kale is like my, in terms of story, from manga and the game itself, like, it's why she's in the top 3, right? And I think it's so fantastic in terms of writing that they don't forget that, like, she is a person that does have a lot in her past, and she's not going to get over everything,
we have
right?
to use the colorful lens to make the light change colors.
But like you said, it's great that she has so much support in her life now. And that's why she is able to, like, you know, she wants to push out more. She wants to leave the quote unquote the nest more. She wants to, you know, live up to the expectations of other people and also show that she can do so she's capable of doing as well, which I think is awesome. But I love that they still keep the touches there, which is very believable, to have her also be like, that stuff still bothers me, right? That's just good. That's just great character writing. It really is. Because you have someone like Collei that, like, you know, you can really get behind so much. Because even, and I just want to say as well, even if she was like completely like, I don't want to
Yes, the lens is
even go outside, you'd be kind of like, okay, like outside her tent, you'd be kind of be like, okay,
Me, or do I smell something sweet here?
something sweet. You'd understand. You'd be like, okay, we can work on that. But even when we first met her, what was the first thing that happened? I think Paimon tried to like touch her arm or something like that, and Collei got very upset. They do such a good job of showing Collei, who's someone who wants to push out beyond her usual setting, but also they keep intact the idea that she's been through a lot. She's been through a whole lot. I think it's just fantastic writing for what they do for Collei, and pairing her with someone like Eula, who like just look like, if you saw Eula for the first time ever, you're like, that is like the essence of confidence.
Hey,
Very good joke, Mayuna.
Do you happen to know someone named Sino?
Never heard that name before.
Great
What do you
stuff.
Oh, never mind then. I was just thinking you two would have a lot in common.
Yeah, great joke. Great
Back
joke.
to the situation at hand.
This is so cool, all the
We should
different,
probably head into the passageway that opened now.
All the different stage pieces as well, the background, the painted backgrounds and stuff like this. This was awesome.
Is anyone here? If you can hear
Another
me,
character.
please help.
Blue eyes again.
Lessig Lawrence?
But that's Lawrence.
Who are you?
So it's a different
Who has the
blue.
audacity to utter my full name?
Don't start. Don't start.
Hey,
Don't start.
You sure don't look like
Exactly.
you're in any condition to be
Paimon,
talking
tell him.
like that.
Paimon, tell him.
Yep. He's a member of the Lawrence clan, all right. Even though he's hanging on by a thread, he still insists on clinging to meaningless etiquette.
And this is like one of Eula's big things, the idea of like, do we really have to keep this etiquette going? Do we really have to, like, you know, like do this? Or, you know, like she's always, even in her voice line, she talks about how like some of the aristocrat stuff is meaningless to her. It's just like, it's so silly. It was her whole story, really. The idea of like clinging on to those old ideals.
You. What are you doing
Don't
here?
start, buddy.
Have you come here to mock me, Eula?
Maybe if you start.
If you would just think for a moment, it should be pretty obvious why we are here.
Exactly.
Yet, now you're intentionally trying to provoke me?
Exactly. This is why
Of
she's a great
course,
aristocrat.
You don't have to accept my help. After all, aristocrats are naturally superior
Oh, yeah,
and
use
need
it-
no
use that
help
against
from
them.
others.
Yes, thanks for the reminder. I don't need help from the likes of you.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Eula grew up in an aristocrat. Right. If I remember the story correctly, she grew up in an aristocratic family, right? And a clan, in an aristocratic clan, right? And she branched off from that. Lessig, you may think that you're more important because you're an aristocrat. How about someone who knows all the etiquette and can do all the etiquette, can do all that aristocrat stuff that you can do all those dance moves, all the stuff she was taught from when she was a kid, all those things. She can do all those things still that all you fancy dancy people can do, but she also can do things that someone in the Knights of Avonia can do that you can't. I'm sorry, guys.
I don't
I'm sorry.
think he really means it, Eula.
You think so? Calling me
His
up to come here
tone
his
was
own.
harsh, but he keeps glancing at you from the corner of his eyes. It's my opinion as the healer that he needs help.
This reminds me of that one. I'll try and find it. The Pulse video. If I can find it, I'll definitely like click it. He's a Let's Player. He used to play games, and it reminds me sometimes of what happens when like camera characters like calm me down in games in Genshin, and especially Collei, who's like the voice of reason. But he sees someone and he's like, "I'll kick your ass," and then like the guy responds, "Hey, calm down," in the game, and he goes, "Okay." And I feel like that happens to me. I'm like, you don't say this to Eula, you don't say that. And as soon as Collei starts saying this stuff, I'm like, oh, you know what? Yeah, cooler heads prevail.
Fucking asshole! I beat your ass! That's enough.
Okay.
I feel like sometimes you do need that, right? Because you can't get very passionate. And then Collei, who is like, you know, someone who has like experience in that, like in being very empathetic like that as well, you know?
Okay.
And you would just be like, okay, yeah, it's fine.
He's been trapped for so long that it seems he's forgotten how to hold a decent conversation.
Still get him.
How ridiculous. Let's go. We'll leave the stage to this person who'd rather save face than save his own life.
Hey, no, wait.
Yeah, he definitely like
Halt!
side I wanted help.
You cannot just leave me here. We're both of the Lawrence bloodline.
Say
after
no,
all.
just say I need some help,
Helping
buddy.
me when necessary certainly won't tarnish your prestige. If anything, my embarrassing predicament will be overshadowed by your virtuous deed. We must uphold the prestige and dignity of the family.
Is this his way of like trying to get healing?
This is the best reason you could come
Yeah.
up with? You think tacking on the word family will be enough to talk me into
Oh, I
helping
love
you?
Eula so much.
You should be ashamed for your careless actions. It's because of you that we all had to come here.
Yeah. Eula came here looking for you. Oh, the wink as well. I love that they're like she's acknowledging Kale's input here in a very fun way. It's almost like a very like auntie or older. I don't want to say auntie, you know, because I think they're probably like closer in age than we think. But like older sister kind of vibe as well, where it's like, hey, like I got this. It's fine. I understand. Very 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 sweet stuff. Because again, like she's like, hey, why are you using this thing here? I know she's like playing it up, but it's like. That doesn't mean anything to Eula. It really doesn't. You know what I mean? You're just gonna have to ask for help in some way, man.
Everyone in the Lawrence clan is this way. They'll do anything to save face.
Yeah, 100%. Even though Eula sounds harsh, we did come all this way to see him. Yeah, no, 100%.
All right. Looks like it's time for the mascot to step in.
Let's go, mascot.
Here you go. One for Eula and one for Lessig.
What was this? What did you give him?
What is this? Candy?
Thanks.
A piece of candy?
Oh, the smell. It's just like the aroma I smelled coming from the lens.
I mean, it did stop the
Yes,
tension.
That's right. Enjoying something sweet always lightens the mood.
Oh, thank you, Miss Mascot. I certainly do feel much
I mean,
better
I can even
now.
feel the tension dissipating inside myself as
So
well.
he's willing to thank someone else, but not me.
Yeah, that's his
Eula has been worrying
his pride.
about you the past few days and asked me several times regarding how to find you. But now that you two have been reunited, I won't have to keep answering her questions anymore. Oh, I'm so happy.
She's happy that she could relax as well.
Let me clarify one thing. I don't care what happens to him. If you're going to keep saying nonsense like this, then...
Eula will never admit that she actually cares about him. Yeah, you're probably right.
I
if
love
you're
these
going to
tiny
keep saying
little
nonsense
interactions.
Like this, then at least give me another piece of candy.
Give her a piece of candy. I love her so much.
Oh, sure. I still have more.
Just give me a piece of candy.
Sorry. I admit my mistake. I know I've caused heaps of trouble for all of you.
Do you think that it's a case of like sometimes people just need like a little push into like, you know, being more reasonable? Like some people who are too proud, like, and there's a bit of pride come from Eula as well, but some people are too proud sometimes. And it is very like in a way, and like we all have childish traits, right? And it is like a very childish trait to kind of like, you know, like I'm not doing this, and then it's like, oh yeah, but dude, like, you know, we need you there, and you kind of convince them through that way, you know what I mean? And it is a very childish trait, but I feel like everyone has like some childish aspect about them, which is, you know, it's not a terrible thing, but I feel like it is kind of like this push that he needed. But that candy was so interesting to me because even like released the tension from me as well, like that moment. Very very cool stuff. Very cool stuff.
Why couldn't you have just said that earlier?
I agree.
I'm back. Oh, have you already finished catching up?
Great scene.
Why
Fantastic
are you all
scene.
looking at me?
Oh, nothing. Don't mind us.
All right, then let's clean things up here and keep working our way toward getting the crystal light fixed. There's no need to push yourself in your condition, Lessig.
I'll take him and find some place for him to rest. I happen to be a little tired myself.
Yeah, you
All
were
right.
tired.
I'll leave my cousin to you then. You'd better rest up and regain your strength before we settle things, Lessig.
We're gonna have a sword fight. No, that whole all the scenes there were fantastic. They were so fun. Yeah, like it was like really because I was like, don't be disrespecting Eula, and I'd stand by that no matter what. But I love the way Kale stepped in for both me and Eula. I was like, look,
Now, let's see
he's
if there's
clearly
any
too
way to
proud. He
keep
wants
raising the
help. You know what I mean?
platform higher. We probably will need to find a mechanism that's like a lamp.
And obviously, like, I knew he was too proud, but I feel like, you know, sometimes, you know, when someone's, you know, going at one of your favorite characters, it definitely does, like, take some other character to be like, hey, look,
Strange.
let's think about this.
Is that really the Lessig that I know?
You shouldn't always judge people based on the way you knew them before. People
Actually, fair.
change, and people can always make different choices.
Fair. Depending on what they did, of course. But yeah, like the example I always give, and it's a way different example, by the way. If anyone remembers the Linny and Rio situation that I had in Fontaine, where like I had like a very, you know, difference of opinion, I think, with a lot of people in
There's a water droplet over
Oh, nice.
there.
A hydroidolin. It must have been trapped in the curtain. But at least it seems to be okay.
Yeah, fantastic. Where like I was kind of like not sold on, these are so cool. I was not sold on Rio yet, right? Because of like, you know, I really had a attachment to Linny and to Lynette and Fremine already. Go on, Calais, look at her. That's really cool, the magical hat sequence. I had a really like attachment to those characters, right? And it took like a little bit of like, you know, time, but I feel like after like, you know, a little bit, other characters, you know, intentionally being like, look, you don't have to, like, stuff is happening, there's some crazy stuff happening, like, you know, the Fatui are infiltrating this place, and like sometimes it does take a few characters to be like, hey, look, this is what's happening. We can't always have like this like, and it'd be boring if you had like this perfect idea of the world all the time, right? But I am glad Calais stepped in there and was like, hey, look, he's clearly too proud. You know? Great, and I really love as well that Calais and Eula both had their moments where Eula helped Calais with her one of her traits as a character that she feels like, you know, is her self-consciousness, something that like she still you know, affects her in a lot of ways. Whilst you can also see from Calais' perspective that she helped Eula with something that Eula does, like, I think we'd all say, not maybe not an issue with, but does have something, a part of her character trait where she probably does, like, you know, jump in head first to a lot of situations. And Calais was there to kind of be like, hey, look, it's cool, look, like, he's clearly very proud. I understand that he shouldn't be mean or anything like that, but he clearly is very proud in this situation. I loved it. I loved the two sequences there.
Wow. And Paimon thought it looked big from the outside. This place is massive.
It is a magical tent, after all.
Yeah.
The inside is much larger than it appears
That's
from
really
the
cool.
outside. Haven't you heard stories with this sort of thing before?
Great stuff. Just really great stuff between Eula and Calais. Really fantastic.
This should be the last level.
Yes, don't worry. We're almost to the top of the tent. The last thing we need to do is raise the crystal light to the very top of the tent. After the stage collapsed, I realized that having it raised only halfway makes it look a lot like the stage at the Grand Bazaar. Have any of you visited the Grand Bazaar before?
No, I haven't.
I have. I've gone there a few times with Master Tainari. The place is bustling with all kinds of vendors. And if you're lucky, you can see Nilu perform her dance.
That's awesome that they're
a
talking
dance
about
from
this.
Sumeru? I'd like to see that myself. If only it were on the way back, then we could stop there.
Please do stop there.
It doesn't matter if it's on the way or not.
Yes.
I would be happy to take you whenever you have time.
You would
Eula.
love Nilu.
Great. I'll take you up on that offer.
Actually, if you oh,
A dance from Sumeru?
I pressed the wrong button
I'd
and
like
backed
to see
out of
that
it.
myself. If only it were
I was
on
gonna
the
say
way
before we go any further, like if Eula was there when the whole thing was happening, Eula in the academia, like Eula would be already up at the academia, being like you know, right in their faces. She wouldn't be, you know what I mean? And that would be so fun to see.
back, then we could stop there.
It doesn't matter if it's on the way or not. I would be happy
I
to
love
take
that.
you whenever
I
you
loved
have time,
the
Eula.
relationship already.
Great. I'll take you up on that offer.
Now that Paimon thinks about it, we've already been there more times than Paimon can remember.
Really? My father used to help with festivities at the Grand Bazaar and would always give me candy during the
That
events.
sounds lovely.
I was just a kid and didn't understand anything. I was happy as long as he gave me some candy. To me, fairs and
That's a beautiful
festivals
shot
were
in the
the
background.
best things ever.
Yeah, it's nice having stuff
I
from your
always
childhood
thought
that
my
like
father
really
was amazing.
is nice
and
to
wanted
remember,
be
right?
Just like him when I grew up.
But aren't you a scholar in the academia, Maimuna? As far as I know, scholars seldom could spend time doing anything but research. I doubt you could have time to assist your father in preparing festivities.
Yeah, seems you read me like a book. When I had the choice between becoming who I wanted to be and who my parents wanted me to be, I ended up choosing the latter. But I was never happy about it.
Right, and I imagine so.
That's almost the exact opposite of your
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
You must have already realized that. Why else would you set up all the booths here and make this place like a fairgrounds?
Yes, but I'm still not as happy as I imagined I would be. I realized that attending a fair and running a fair are two completely different
Yes.
things.
100%.
The main reason my childhood was so
at
fun and
the shop.
carefree is because my family worked hard. But my father knew how difficult and tiring running a fair could be, so he wanted to push me towards academics. But in the end, I didn't do well in either.
Oh, no.
I gave up on myself and resorted to investigating ley lines in the desert. Some things happened, and then I accidentally ended up here. I finally had a chance to make my wish of running a fair come true. But after seeing everything come crashing down, I feel like I've lost the strength to go on.
It's not as bad as you make it out to be, Maimuna. No need to feel so down. You have the courage to change, and you've been actively guiding us on this journey.
There you go.
Someone who's given up on themselves could never do these things.
Oh my god.
Oh, Colin.
What a great way of looking at
I
it.
understand my situation better than anyone. You don't need to try to comfort
Well,
me.
we're comforting you.
It's not that I'm trying to comfort you. It's just that people sometimes don't realize that their actions speak louder than words.
Yeah?
Believe me, this is something that I learned from my time together with Eula.
Oh my god.
Oh, what are you trying to say?
Oh, nothing. Now, let's get
I take
that
it as a good thing,
crystal light
Eula.
next.
All right.
Kale already adores you, right? She already adores you. And Kale's a sweet person, but like it's so great to see how attached she's gone to Eula as well. I do love the parallels to the story there, where it's like Kale's someone who like is now her dads, Sino and Shinari, with their uncles Kaveh and Alhaitham. Like they 100% like support her in like the 100%, but also like she is someone who like wants to follow in the footsteps of Tanari 100%, right? With Eula's situation, Eula's someone who like wanted to get away from the life of her clan completely. She didn't want any aspect of that whatsoever, and I think that's like such a difference from like what already different from what Kalei, his situation was. But also, I feel like as well it can be related to Kalei in a way, or she can get something from that because it's about like carving your own path and like making yourself like in a ways independent, and which is what Kalei wants in a lot of ways too. But then the parallel to Mehuna, who like chose the path that her parents totally laid out for her, but in this way it's kind of like interesting because her parents did it because they didn't want life to get too hard for her as well. I love the way everything is kind of like laid out. I really do. We talk about how every combo in this game works, but like it's crazy how like Genshin always knows the exact right combo to like make a very like interesting parallel or a story that goes along here as well. Can I say selfishly it's very like interesting watching someone, because I don't ever do this, right? Because I don't watch Genshin playthroughs. Not because I don't think they'd be fun, because I'm just trying to avoid spoilers as much as I can. So it's very interesting watching someone else play this game. I feel like I almost feel like a modern day Genshin like king or something. Yes, play the game. Play the game for me. But yeah, no, I love the way this story is going. But it's also just like a very beautiful location that we're in as well, and the shots they were showing there is really cool. Also, every NPC we talked to in this, which is not unexpected. We talk about how NPCs are fantastic in this game, especially they've gotten more fantastic as time has gone on. But this was pre-Fontaine, which is like interesting too. Oh wow, I'm very, 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 very happy with things, how things have gone with this quest so far. And the NPCs so far have been amazing. I would have loved this. Avoiding the ball, are you kidding me? This would have been my favorite thing in the world. Is there something else you have to do? See again, like this puzzle
That
here.
should do it.
Like, I'll be honest, I don't know exactly what's happening. Like, I can see like what they're trying to do with this stuff. Oh my god, that looks amazing. But it looks so fun, Like, obviously, like, I know the actual gameplay. Look how pretty that is. Oh, it's going up into the sky. But obviously, I feel like you can't fully understand a puzzle until you're doing it yourself. That is so cool. The fairgrounds are all lit up. Oh my god, what a frick. Like, am I wrong in saying that, like, even though, like, it's, like, a really pretty thing as well, like, it almost feels like a bit scary as well, like the dark fairgrounds in the swampy area?
Hey, Adia! We're back!
How's, Mr.,
Oh, I was
Lessig?
starting to wonder what was taking you so long. But don't worry, Lessig is recovering well.
Thank you, Idia. What a gal.
I'm pretty good at taking care of people. Seems I found another good thing about myself.
That's good. No, we're very happy for you. Constantly find things that you like about yourself.
I don't know if I should be worried for him or happy for her.
The shadow. It's massive. Wait. The shadow just now.
What?
It's.
Seems
Yeah.
he still might need a little more time
For
to recover.
sure.
Tell me, did everything go well for you all?
Of course. With a team like the Traveler, Paimon, Kale, and Eula, they're at least 40 times more reliable than you
No, don't say
ever
that.
were.
Only 40 times more reliable? That means I'm still pretty
Okay,
good.
Idia, I'll take that as a compliment.
I guess it's impossible to feel like you've lost once you've already given up. I'm a little concerned about how comfortable you are with that.
Huh? What has happened? How did I get outside of the tent?
Well, he doesn't even realize.
That's right. I remember meeting Eula, and then. My head.
Oh, you're awake now. Don't worry. That's just a side effect of your treatment, Lessig.
I'm afraid I still feel a little disoriented.
Right. I'm scared to ask how much treatment he's receiving. But, like, medication
Lessig
can...
Lawrence.
I know medication even now can make you, like, a little bit disoriented depending on the medication, like, you know, obviously, and depending what you take with it. But I wonder, like, what the actual treatment is.
Oh, it's you, Eula. All right, I'll do it. I'll come back to Mondstadt with you and abandon my wild efforts to restore the Lawrence clan.
Interesting. Now you want to talk. Seems
I
like you've had a change
love
of
the
heart.
pettiness of Eula sometimes.
In that case, maybe you'll be able to explain
adore
everything
her
in
so
detail
much.
for us now.
When you look
I
that
admit
cool
it,
as well, you get to be
yes.
petty, by the way.
I came here in hopes of finding a way to restore the Lawrence
I'm
clan
biased.
to its
She looks
former
awesome.
glory. But it was a long journey, and I didn't always know the way. I passed through Liyue and Sumeru. There was even a time when I lost my wallet and had to live in the wild. But the peculiar thing is, I realized that nobody knew me out there. And not a single person even cared about the Lawrence clan.
Right, a realization.
You and I are like glass pawns that were raised in shackles. We were taught to act like nobles, but outside the walls of our home, the people of Mondstadt despised
Yeah, they're a nation of
us.
freedom.
Such pompous, hateful, and
Love that he's saying
stubborn
this.
teaching. It all culminated to making us cling to the old aristocratic
Yes.
dogma in an attempt to maintain our pride.
Lessig's so proud.
It's
So
like
proud
a
of you saying
never-ending
this.
game of tug of war, but it is meaningless. You understand, or I should say, you have already long understood. But I'm afraid that I have only just realized this.
Paimon sorta understands what Lessig is saying.
And this is again like why like I love Genshin, like the idea of like it like them bringing back a story from this long ago, right? This was like for me this was early in the playthrough that we encountered. This is a Mondstadt story. The idea of like the Lawrence clan of and Eula and her expectations for her life and all this stuff. But like I'm not sure how Eula's gonna feel about it. For me, from an outside perspective, I love the idea of someone else, even if it's late. Sometimes it's better late than never. Someone else realize like, okay, yeah, it's not what it's cracked up to be. You know what I mean?
Everything he said is true. Your family is probably unaware that you've already changed how you see
Because
things.
they're too high in the sky,
Yes.
too up in the
This
clouds.
has all happened recently. After coming to this domain, I realized the Mondstadt that I want is one where not everyone fears me.
So good. So
All
good,
that
man.
I
So
and
good.
many other members of the Lawrence clan long for is a place where we can live peacefully with others.
Lessig, both you and I never had anything to do with the glory of the Lawrence clan. That is all in the past. We are just ordinary people.
Yes.
I originally planned on returning to Mondstadt after taking care of things here. I never thought you would come here. I was completely shocked, which is why I reacted like I did. I'm sorry.
I think we have the context
See,
down right now.
People can
Yeah.
always make different choices. And it seems that Lessig has also chosen to become someone he truly wants to be.
Because in the moment, like, I was definitely like frustrated. As you guys know, I was like, you know, like, obviously not like, you know, fully. I was like, obviously just like, you know, having a laugh, like with the idea of Eula, like, you know, telling this guy to F off. But we were frustrated. Like, we were kind of like, man, like, why are you acting like this with someone who's trying to save you? But this makes like that aspect. It goes from instantly from me being like, I'm annoyed by this guy to being like, man, that's a really well written character. That's someone who was frustrating, but he was frustrating because he was really interesting. And we say it all the time when we're playing Genshin. Some of the most interesting characters are people who say one thing, but do another or mean another thing. He was there on the ground in pain and an embarrassment of like, you know, and shock of seeing Eula for the first time. Someone who was right. He realized she was right in the end. He's like, how do I do this? I know, I'll just react in a very negative way because that will like protect my heart and protect my feelings so I don't have to face this right away, right? Because sometimes that can be very difficult. So he goes, Eula, you dare talk to the Lawrence clan, you know, whatever. And that was him trying to protect his heart. He was trying to make sure that like he wasn't embarrassed, that he didn't like, you know, have to admit that he was wrong in that sense, or admit that she was right, I guess, in another sense as well. And it's just like, again, the character says one thing. He was saying all this stuff. You know, I get away from the Lawrence clan, but in reality, he was trying to find a way to live in a world where he was not, like, feared, right, by the people of Mondstadt. It's so cool. Such a well-written character.
Yes, about that. I'm afraid I haven't quite found my own purpose.
Man, that's
in
so
life
fine.
yet.
That's so okay.
That's all right. Being able to clearly choose between becoming who you want to be and who your parents wanted you to be is already a step
yeah.
in the right direction. How to find true happiness is probably one of the most difficult research topics of all.
Oh my god.
I have a suggestion for you, Lessig.
What a crew.
Why don't you return to Mondstadt and tell your parents what you just told us?
Okay.
They'll probably try to tear me limb from limb. But what about you? Did you ever tell your family about what you think?
This is something that I've been thinking about too. Perhaps the two of us can sit down with the rest of the clan and discuss it with them.
That's a huge
The
deal.
Lawrence clan is just like this stage. It was once home to glorious performances.
Gorgeous
Those
shot.
days are now long gone. And it is time for the stage to be updated.
So impressed.
She's so solid and tough, but also clear and open, like an ice cube. Is that why she's able to dance anytime and anywhere she wishes?
Look at this description. Perfect description of Eula. Like we said, solid and tough, clear and open. You know what I mean? Like, she's very supportive, but she's also like very tough. She's very funny, but she's also like very, very like outgoing, and she's also like very like not aggressive, but like very defensive in a lot of ways, and for the people that she loves. I feel like this is perfect. Like, yeah, maybe she is able to dance wherever she wishes because she is so clear and open, but also tough and hardened. So good.
Are you all done talking?
I could stay here for another 3 hours if you
Yes, I
want.
think so.
This is a great
By
conversation.
the way,
Really well
that is
written.
for you. Please take it. I found it on Lessig earlier.
Oh, it's one of the
Oh,
missing
great.
components. Wait, so you had it all this time? Why didn't you give it to me earlier?
Well, you didn't ask. All right, I admit it. I forgot about it.
Okay, we'll let the traveler hold on to it for now.
Perfect.
Wait, this looks like... It looks pretty familiar. Have we seen one of these before?
Wait. The candy box in the mission. Remember where we kept having to choose the
right.
candy box?
I also bought a similar box at the last
Very
festival.
cool.
Yes, people often use this kind of box for candy at festivals. This was one of the materials originally used to create the tent. But now that the tent has been repaired, we no longer need it.
What a way of bringing that back.
Eating the candy from the box as an adult will never be as delicious as it was when you were a kid.
Oh, it's so true.
But if you really think about it, there are way more things you can eat as an adult.
it, eating candy is sort of like life. It's just another choice.
Can I say one of the things that like changed for me as I grew up, and I talk about this all the time with friends, so not all the time, whenever Oreos are brought up. When I was a kid, Oreos were a treat. And if you got Oreos, it was like, holy hell, like what a day. You know what I mean? This is like the greatest day of our life, because we never had Oreos, right? But now that I'm like an adult, I can buy Oreos whenever I want, and they do not taste as good. Because I think there's a combination with food, right? Even though they taste probably the same, there's this thing in my head where I'm like, now that I can have these all the time, it's like, there's no longer a mystique about them, right? There's no longer like like this is like a really special thing. It's the same with like, you know, we wouldn't have fast food all the time, maybe like once every like month or something like that. So when you got like pizza and like fries, it was like, holy hell, like this is incredible. You know what I mean? This is the greatest day of our lives, you know? Not the greatest day of our lives, you know what I mean? It was such a fun time as a kid because you're like, oh my God, this is like just like really like, you know, kind of greasy, tasty food. And you're like, oh, this is amazing. And now that like I can just like, you know, if I wanted to just buy some pizza and from a store, from a fast food place, it's like it's not as special. You know what I mean? It still tastes good, and I'm very grateful for that I can do that. But you know what I mean? It's just it's interesting. It's interesting.
So, as of now, we've already collected 3 of the missing components. Only 1 more to go. I'm sorry that repairing the tent took so much of everyone's time. You should all head back and have a rest. I'll lead the way.
Great stuff. Yeah, no, this is fantastic. Look at all these Ocenids, man. This is what's freaking crazy to me, right? Like, even now, like I said last time, it's like, oh, maybe look at this map as well. I said last time, like, maybe if, like, we came here first before Fontaine, like, these Ocenids would, like, have, like, Kokomi, a gigantic impact on us. But, like, I think I'm wrong only in a sense of, like, when I see them all together in so many big quantities, it's still freaking amazing.
Here! Oh, you're back. I trust your adventures to the forest went smoothly? Yep, you could say that. How about you? Up to anything today? Well, I suppose it's time I told you that as the divine priestess of Watatsumi Island, I shouldn't actually be here now.
Right?
The truth is that a relic known as the Shinro Casket was lost from Watatsumi Island long ago. Recently, an orb matching the relic's description suddenly began emitting light, almost as if it was guiding people to it. This is what led me to find the relic's whereabouts.
So you came here looking for something?
I wasn't lying when I said that. Goro has often told me that sitting at home reading light
Goro
novels
giving
is
advice?
not the best of practices.
Very sweet.
And that I should try to get out more.
Okay.
As I made my way from Watatsumi Island to Sumeru, I enjoyed a variety of breathtaking
Yeah.
sights. It really is a beautiful nation. I even stayed in the rainforest.
I mean, you're talking about traveling through Liyue then in that respect as well.
That the relic had ended up in the desert. I knew it was somewhere here, but I still couldn't pinpoint the exact location.
Okay.
Though I feel that Idia was not intentionally trying to hide anything from us, this domain does have plenty of secrets. I'm sure you've sensed that too.
It's an unusual place. Anidia was still to become very busy from time to time. Plus, she knows Alice. Yes. Yes. That is a very, like, big, like, not red flag, but a flag.
Now that you mention it, a lot did happen today.
It's a very magical, mystical, and crazy place. You tell Kokomi everything happened at the fairgrounds.
I see. When you found Lessig, did you also happen to find any clues related to this domain?
No, I don't think so. Sorry, guys, I had to open the door, but I skipped back a little bit as well.
I'm afraid that he was caught up in his thoughts and didn't pay attention to his surroundings. Actually, before the world was flipped upside down, this domain didn't look anything
So what
like
did it look like?
Hey, everyone! Oh, I hope we're not interrupting your
No, it's
conversation.
fine. It's fine, don't worry. Converse. Come with us.
It's all right. You two did a lot today. Care to
Look
join
at this
me for a
trio.
cup of tea? Sure. That would be perfect.
Kokomi,
Eula and I
Kale,
just made some snacks.
and Eula. Wait, you were making snacks?
Turns out Idia has a cooking stove and oven. Seriously, Why didn't she mention it earlier?
Oh, so did you make us some moon pies?
No. I made something called storm crust pie. You should try one,
Sounds
Traveler.
interesting. Sounds very interesting.
And I made some pita pockets. You can try
Those
some,
pita pockets are
Kokomi.
amazing.
It should taste great with tea.
No, that's amazing.
Sorry. I should call you
Kokomi's
General.
not going to mind whatsoever.
I would be happy
Yeah, she's
to
not
try
going to care.
some. By the way, Eula, how's your cousin doing now?
Oh, him. You would never guess, but he's busy over by the oven now.
Part 2 done. Part 2 was definitely shorter than part 1, but sometimes that does happen as well. Yeah, interesting what Kokomi's saying about that as well, that the world is... Look at that freaking UI. That's what I'm excited for too, is UI. Like, I'm genuinely excited to see more of the UI in these events. I think right now, Lantern Rite is starting up. As I've said a bunch of times, but I want to make sure it's clear to everybody. If we are playing it, I probably will be playing in Chinese, just because there won't be any English voice acting, and we might, like, even if, you know, if we're going to be reading it anyway, we might as well have someone else say it in a different language, and so we have, you know, so it will still be like there. But also, it'd be also interesting to hear it in a different language for once. It's nice to try it, right? Also, I want to say as well that, like, as I've said before, just so people know, I'm waiting. I'm waiting until people tell me if it's safe. Right? Does that make sense? When people say there's no spoilers, I will jump right into it. As I said, the best case scenario would be there's no spoilers. The second best case scenario would be like you can do the whole Lantern Rite, and then the last like hour of the quest is like some Natlan characters show up or something like that, so I can just like not do the last 40 minutes. That's the second best case scenario, but we'll see how it goes.
Really? You do that? Oh, but that's too much. I can't.
No, really, it's all right. We want to do everything we can for the domain.
Yes, and to be completely fair, I'm the one who
planning on
caused
doing
this
something, I
terrible
suppose.
mess in the first place.
Oh? What happened? Did Paimon miss something?
Hello, you two. Lessig was just telling us what happened.
Perhaps you should allow me to explain. I'm afraid it was I who caused all this trouble in the domain.
Wait, how?
Yes, it was Lessig.
To be precise, I saw a most exquisite water orb at the entrance of the domain. It reminded me of an astrolabe my grandfather gave me when I was 7 years old. I was curious if it could rotate, so I reached
We
out and
started all of
touched
it that way.
Little did I know that it was the core of this entire domain. What I mean to say is, I knew something was wrong as soon as the whole place started flipping.
It's not just your fault. I failed in my responsibilities as the caretaker here. Oh, I knew I should have put the core somewhere more secure.
Okay, mistakes are made. You know, we have to try and fix it now. That's what has to happen.
Water at the entrance?
I keep hitting the microphone with my knee, guys. I have to put my legs on the ground.
Yes, that's the one. Anyway, after giving it some thought, Lessig has offered to perform some more repairs and maintenance to help support the domain. But we were concerned he wouldn't be able to handle it all alone, so Eula and I will also stay here to lend him a hand.
Fantastic.
But don't be mistaken. I'm not doing this out of the kindness of my heart like Kale. My job is purely to monitor and ensure that Lessig doesn't cause
That's why
any
the two
more
of you work
trouble
so well
here.
together.
Sure. I don't think anyone's buying that anymore, Eula. Though I do remember that Amber mentioned we should just nod and agree when you act like this.
She has to put up that front, you know, the vengeance. Vengeance will be hers. Oh my god. Love that. Love when they show Eula, who is so strong and so tough, who is so open and all this stuff. I love when they show that she has some insecurities too. She doesn't like people reading her fully either. That's awesome. Absolute sweetheart.
Right.
And Kale already understanding to
You
move on
better
very
not
quickly. Love
slack
it.
off today, Lessig.
No, I'll get right to work.
Get to work, Lessig.
Either way, Lessig is going to be in charge of making lunch for everyone today.
That'll give him a good chance to redeem himself. It better be good.
Yes, I'll do my best. No need to worry.
Great stuff.
What was that?
What?
No, I mean, thanks everyone for giving me a chance to redeem myself. I can already feel new strength kindled inside me. Ha ha ha. Ah, no, maybe that's just the heat of
That's
the
so funny. What was that?
Very good. But you should conserve your strength. Many parts of the domain are still in disrepair, so we have a lot to investigate.
Seems Adia has a little more pep in her step after finding others to help do the
Rightly
work.
so. Queen.
Now that you three are situated, we can focus on what the rest
You
of us
expect her
will
to
be doing
work?
today. I'll go gather the others. We should get ready to leave as soon as possible.
You expecting Queen Adia to work?
And there she goes. At least she seems
I like
to
her a
be
lot. I love
happy.
how like much she
Maybe
slacks off.
this
It's
is how
hilarious.
it feels to be in charge.
That sounds very like derogative, being like Queen Adia. I mean it, man. You know what? Bow down to her. She's found a way to like, get other people to do her job. Honestly, this is her dream. Amazing. Fantastic. I'm having a blast with this. I'm having such a fun time. Like, yes, there's like some like deeper secrets here that's going on as well.
Where are we going now? We're going to retrieve the last missing component. I'm working
Was that
theory
Klee? Oh, Klee's with us
that the
now?
director listed on the sign has it.
And Kaya.
No details slips by
They're
our
back.
general.
What's a director?
What's a director? Answer.
A director is a kind of job. The one we're looking for is named Zosimos. Zosimos is responsible for managing everything that happens on the stage, similar to how Idia is responsible for managing the whole
Right.
Wow! Sounds like Miss Idia must be way
She's so busy,
busier.
Klee. You have no idea.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Can't
Oh no!
The director doesn't get out much. He's almost always cooped up in his treehouse making props or writing scripts. But I'm trying to remember now. Where is that treehouse of his?
Huh? You don't remember?
Hey, don't forget! I'm just the mascot.
I believe it's that way.
Huh.
Though he might prefer to be alone, given he often has to move stage props, I suspect that he lives near the theater. And having a view of the entire stage would be useful when imagining a production's actual stage flow.
Yeah.
So if I were him, I'd probably pick a treehouse over
And this is like
there.
interesting because this is her strategic
But
like
how do you know which direction
wartime
the
strategy
theater
as
is
well
in?
coming into this, right?
Simple. The overall layout and decorations look more exciting in that direction.
Oh, good point! Why didn't I think of that?
You know what I mean? Because Kogami is the type of person who like has had to like think of locations and the best vantage points and the best like places to set up in a vantage point. And I really feel like it's we're going back in the cart. It's very, very cool to have Kokomi here and like kind of giving her expertise on the idea of the best like even if it's like a more of a tame approach to what that would be, right? It's no longer about like where can we attack from, where can we defend from. That's an amazing sight, by the way, that tree in the middle. It's really cool to have that transition over here as well. And that's what like these events are very good at doing. I feel like also is like adding like a lot of characters' best traits and some of their traits that we know so well, and applying them to new situations that they probably wouldn't be in before in their actual hometowns and things like that. Oh wow, look at this place.
Where did that blasted
Blue hair
automation
again.
mechanism go? Huh? The male actor standees are here, but where are the female ones? Who's that? Idia?
Yes, Zosimos! 'Tis I, Idia! How's that for a dramatic entrance?
This is a surprise. I was sure you'd be...
Curled up in a fetal position, crying to yourself?
Wow, what a fascinating little creature. Did you just read my mind?
Paimon's good at that.
The name's Paimon? And no, Paimon's no mind reader. Just call it an...
He's already praising
guess.
Paimon, so he's good in my books.
It seems everyone shares a similar opinion about you, Idia.
I knew from the start that a managerial role wasn't for me. But I found my true calling now. As a
I think she's
mascot.
hilarious. I adore her. I adore her.
Mascot? Is that a new role? I don't remember.
It's her
casting
job
you for
now.
that.
It's good. It's a good job.
Okay, enough about me. I'm just here to introduce you to some new friends of mine.
Idia introduces everyone to Zosmos and explains all that happened.
And that's why we came to see you. Well, do you have the component that fell out of the central hub?
I do. However, I'm afraid the incident has caused many malfunctions with the stage mechanisms, and I can no longer put on any performances.
Okay, so you're holding the component ransom till we help you fix the mechanisms, huh?
Problem's like, is this a little mission? Is this level 2?
No. Till we fix the stage, surely.
I'd have thought he wants us to make some more props, no? Given that some of the standees are
I love Kokomi's voice so much.
Or maybe the component is broken and we need to fix
Maybe?
it.
You're all forgetting that the majority of his work involves writing scripts. I'll wager that he wants us to edit them.
Just let the man speak. Achi's very funny because he's like, yeah, let me tell you what Achi's happening.
What has gotten into you all? What sort of person do you take me for, The component is safe and sound. I can give it to
They
you
were
now
thinking
if
in
you'd like.
Genshin terms. They were like
Although I was
thinking in
hoping
video
that-
game terms almost.
Maybe you might be willing to
You know,
help rescue my
what
show?
mission do we have to do this?
You're a big group. I have lots of roles to fill. It would really speed
Wait, are
up
we
the
doing actually a
casting.
natural performance?
A show?
Oh, Queen.
That sounds
It does.
fun.
It sounds really fun.
I want to help. Can we?
So far, so good.
Also, truth be told, I've hit a bit of a roadblock in my script and was just thinking about how to move the story forward. And then you all showed up. Suddenly, I got my muse back. I don't know how to explain it, but something about seeing all of you finally helped me figure out how to continue my
Same.
script.
Not for writing scripts, but like
You
these
mean-
characters give me motivation as well.
That story you've been stuck on forever? Are you serious? You really think you can finish it now?
Yes, really. Just give me a little time, and I'll write it all up. In the meantime, I'll leave things to you, Idia.
Whoa. And he's off to write the script.
Zosimos has always wanted to write an epic story about a thief and a mage. Apparently, he got the idea from some rumors that were swirling around, but he only got as far as writing the intro before writer's block set in. Why don't you all take some time for yourselves while I see what I can do? We'll reconvene after the director finishes his script.
Fair enough. Kaya with his tight pants there. I only noticed it because you guys noticed it at that same time too, and you sent it to my
A
brain.
director, my friends,
Well done, guys.
is a storyteller. And the key ingredient to every good story is inspiration. The moment I laid eyes on General Sangonomiya, inspiration hit me for a brand new character. The heroine was the missing piece of the puzzle. The rest of the story flowed naturally from there, and now it's finished. So please, take a look through your scripts, and we will tell this story together.
So we're actually gonna get to do like a performance of some kind? Is that what's happening? Oh, look at Klee.
Well, is everything clear?
Director Zosimos?
Oh,
How do you pronounce this word?
my heart. What's the word?
Let me see. That's sojourn.
Kaya.
It means to
I
stay
love you.
for a while. This is a very cute moment, so let's make
You
sure
think
that
she
comes
can't
through
do
in the
that?
performance.
Oh, wait. There's another word
It's okay.
I don't know here.
Oh my god.
It's okay,
Yeah.
Klee. We can go through your
Oh.
lines together a few more
Oh
times
my God.
after this meeting's over.
That would be most...
This man is like the prettiest man who ever lived, right, in Kaya. And he just becomes prettier every single freaking second. Every freaking second. Can I say as well, like, how beautiful it is, how everyone's so, like, patient and so nice with Klee. And they're like, he's like, don't worry about, we'll go through your lines together. The fact that nobody has married this man. Oh my god.
Appreciated, Kaya. I had a feeling about you, actually. You seem to know a thing or two about character acting. Tell me, have you acted before?
You're too kind. It's all in the script, really. It just rolls off the tongue.
Oh, you think so? Well, you definitely have a knack for it. I've actually been looking out for someone with your talent. If I make it as a big-time director, then I can see us working together for the long term. Be sure to stay in touch, okay? You and I are gonna go places.
What can I say?
He's
Sounds
so
good to
charming.
me.
So charming.
Great. Fantastic. Now then, please go through your scripts one more time. But don't just read the words. Remember my notes. And really let the character inhabit you. I need to have a look at the stage, so I'll leave you to it. If you need me for anything, I'll be in the big theater right in the center of this area.
Wonder what the theaters are like here. Let's go check it out while everyone's
Like, yeah, this is an amazing location, by the way, as well. But I love that whole entire, again, like that whole entire interaction. I love the patience, and again, it's not like you wouldn't have patience, but there's some people that would be like, oh, well, she can't read this. Like, if she doesn't know these words, we can't have her doing the script, right? Some people would do that. There are awful people out there who would do it like that, right? Or some people would be like, when she asks, like, what's a director? You don't need to know about that, right? But instead, just quietly, just calmly explaining everything. She has the best environment for her to grow up in. The absolute best environment. And it's in Mondstadt. And I freaking love that. And look how supportive Kokomi is being as well. This is so pretty as well in the nighttime as well. Yeah, I love this idea of like doing this stage performance as well. If we actually get to see something like that, it'd be very, very cool also. It is very interesting that like we're having all these OC, and it's the blue hair of all these characters, the blue eyes of all these characters, the glowing blue eyes, by the way, of all these characters. Very much like, you know, the most striking version, which to me was always Lyris, out of Narcissus Cruise, Marianne.
Where did it go?
But also,
I put it right here.
the stage plays themselves. Very Fontanian thing, right?
What you up to?
Oh, it's you two. Please, come here. Feast your eyes on this stage. I designed it myself.
So, directors have to design the stage too?
Oh, I'm no ordinary director. I take a more holistic approach. Directing, script writing, stage design, I do it all.
Sounds like a lot of work. Adia wouldn't be able to handle that kind of job.
Edea has her work cut out for her too, you know. She's my one and only member of the audience, though she often criticizes my shows.
She's the gall to sit there, 'cause she can criticize whoever she wants. You know, she's a hard worker.
Well, she just says what she thinks. You don't know how to write, or this is getting
I
ridiculous.
adore her for that. I think she's hilarious.
I think it's because I use preprints in a way that she feels goes against what they're intended for. But even though she's my harshest critic, she's also been my biggest supporter in a lot of ways. I guess you could say
That's a
she's like
really
my
nice way of
agent.
putting it.
I'm
She's
very
like an
grateful
agent.
to her. I've always dreamed of being a director, but I've never had the chance until I came here.
So, what did you do before you came here?
Like I said, I dreamed. From a young age, every time I came home after a show, I'd go over the story again and again in my mind. Growing up, my biggest aspiration was to be a director. Unfortunately, I couldn't offer much beyond my practical skills, so I ended up spending most of my time as a prop designer and
Okay.
doing a bit of set design on the side.
They say that's a good
Don't
way to
get me
start,
wrong,
though, right?
I do love building the set, but nothing satisfies me more than putting on my very own show.
Of course.
No wonder you only wrote director on the sign.
Exactly. You're not doing a great job of convincing me that you're not a mind reader. By the way,
I'm just
could I ask
understanding.
you for your help with something? I'm having trouble finding the master script, and I'll need it shortly.
The one you only just finished writing? You lost it already?
Yeah. After I handed everyone their copies, I held on to my master copy while I was checking on everything around the theater. I must have dropped it somewhere. If it's not here, then it might be in the attic. These are the only two places I've been since I
Great
finished
track, by the way,
writing.
accompanying this.
But, I still have some things to do to get the stage ready. Would you two mind having a look for me?
Sure.
No problem. We'll find it.
Man, it's so crazy because I think like the amount of help that Paimon and Wanderer give to people is, you know, by the way, just like, again, Like, not even an opinion, they help so many people. Like, they do. Factually so, they help so many people. And I think that, like, what always, like, amazes me about this is that, like, does anyone ever feel like when you look at it, you're like, man, they do a lot. They do a lot for people. And it has to be, like, sometimes it has to be, like, feeling, like, exhausting. It's such a cool set piece, by as well. But I imagine even though they're probably tired as heck all the time after all the stuff they finished, like, the experiences they get in this world from helping people, they probably feel fantastic. You know, by the end, like, emotionally, they probably feel amazing in that respect. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that's going on with the Traveler and Ether and all that stuff.
Look at all these books.
Yeah.
Now, where's the master script?
But it has to feel amazing helping people out that much. In my humble opinion.
Sounds like a water droplet is on the second floor. Let's go have a look.
And, like, it's also a case of, like, I do think, yeah, you help people to make other people feel good, but I also feel like if you're ever feeling bad, helping other people is a good way of, like, trying to feel good as well, in my opinion. Little gurgle from the Hydro Ale Dion.
Wow, this is a lot of scripts. Looks like the water droplet has been managing them for the director. Most of them look like works in progress.
We're looking for the master script?
Then it should be the one that's finished. Okay, let's look for the thickest one and then check the ending. This is the only script that fits the bill. Plus, it looks pretty new. This must be the master script.
Paimon graded investigations Detective Paimon, finding this out right away.
Let's go give it to Director Zosimos. Zosimos, we got your script.
Ah, thank you. That's a huge help. I'm running out of time here. There's no way I'll be able to fix everything up perfectly. We may just have to wing it.
Sometimes that can be really fun.
Anyway, the stage is secondary. The performance is what really matters. Things can always go wrong on stage, but as long as the show goes on, it should be fine.
Yeah, 100%.
Sound very confident in what you're saying.
I don't know, I think he sounded pretty, like
It's true.
a go-getter.
I realize now that a show is the art of the unknown. Even if you have the same actors performing on the same stage, the performance will be slightly different every time.
Very true.
Those subtle differences are what make each performance special.
I don't know, I think I get what he's saying.
Okay, one last request. Traveler, you can enter the preprints, yes?
Like,
The truth is that
I totally get what he's saying. He's saying that, like, you know, every time you see a different performance, even if it's the same actors, there's going to be slight differences. I think that's so true.
sets are composed
So true.
entirely of preprints. First, I use materials to make the objects. Then I take those objects and turn them into the preprint. Now, of course, preprints are really meant for making objects to furnish the domain. So using objects to create preprints is, strictly speaking, the reverse of what this is intended for. But Edea said that if this is what I really want to do, she's not going to stand in my way.
So that's what you meant earlier. Okay, well, what do you need us to do?
I'd like the Traveler to go into the preprint set and help move props around during the performance.
Whoa. So I'm part of the backstage crew. I'm literally going behind the scenes.
The reason is,
You want to watch the show. That's very, very sweet. Very sweet.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. If you're busy directing, moving the props, and operating all the mechanisms, you never get the chance to watch the show.
Will we be physically moving them? This is a very sweet, like,
Yes.
idea.
I know that I'm no master playwright, but still. Even if it really is a half-baked script, with shoddy writing and moments of sheer ridiculousness, I'd still like to see it for myself. Just once.
Totally fair,
Hard to
dude.
turn a
Totally
guy
fair.
down after a speech like that.
Yeah, we're more than happy. That's very sweet. Look
Thank
at
you.
Aether's sweet
Genuinely,
smile.
I'm so grateful. I'll go and inform the others. Then, as soon as you're ready, the show can begin.
As soon as they're ready, so just like right now, I'm ready. I'm so ready to see this. This is so cool. Oh, look how pretty it is. Yeah, the preprint stuff is so nice. It's so, so pretty. So we have to like move around the stuff in the world. Wait, what's that?
Long, long ago, there was a great thief. He lived in a land where the light did not shine, where all suffered in the darkness.
This is so cool.
People call me.
Sorry, Kaya. Directly into the microphone,
Oh, it's
please.
Kaya's voice. It's so good.
Otherwise, your voice will, you know.
Okay. They call me the Dagger Bandit.
Oh, yes.
But no one sees that I rob the rich and give to the poor.
What a
Here in
man.
the dark, evildoers run rampant
This
in
is
the
so
shadows,
cool.
while the good, honest folk stumble blindly on, just trying
Oh,
to
the
find a way
music.
through.
So that's Kaya's character down there?
As the bandit brooded, suddenly the world was inexplicably changed as a single star appeared on the horizon
Wait.
and flew across the sky.
Are you gonna... We have to fly the
Stop
star?
on that movement mechanism in front of you.
Very cool. We're moving. Yeah, we actually got to move the parts around. Genshin, I love you. I adore you.
Light, a brief flash, yet enough to illuminate the world. If I can find the source of that light, I can shine it into the darkness, and the people will suffer in blindness.
Guy's doing a fantastic job. He's doing great. The little walk as well. So I guess it's gonna be like the representation of their characters through like true voices and preprints. And he's following the
Without
star.
a moment to spare, he set off to follow the star's course. All the while, the star kept moving through the sky.
So sick.
Traveler, the star kept moving through the sky.
In fairness to Ruben, they're doing a very good job, and they have been moving the star through the sky. They've been trying to do it from the start. This is just very fun. This whole idea, and like we've seen so many events that have so
Looks
many
like
cool
I have
like
to go through the desert.
new things that you don't get in the
This
main
could be
game.
Dangerous.
If everything he'd heard was to be believed, the desert ahead was a no man's land filled with horrors. Worse still, the star had landed in the most difficult to reach location, surrounded by sheer cliffs. But he was determined to press onward.
I've come this far, and I'm not about to turn back now.
Yeah, I love how they're representing
The
this.
Dagger Bandit trekked deep into the desert wasteland.
Is that idea?
Yet when he finally arrived at his destination, he found not a fallen star, but a young girl dressed in white.
How strange.
How
I'm
strange.
positive this is where the star landed. Young lady, do you know where the
Is she
light
the
has
star?
gone?
The girl replied,
Traveler from afar, the light you seek is only a bottled flame. But the
No,
flame
it's not
has now
idea.
died, and its light is long gone.
Bottled flame?
Yes, it was a gift from another.
and so the girl began to tell
So
the story
freaking cool.
of how the bottle came into her possession. The girl hailed from a kingdom that sat atop the waterfalls. But when the reigning dynasty fell and a new one seized power, she and her people fled for their lives. A thick fog began to fill the air as she made her way through the forest, and dense thickets tried to block her path. There is a mechanism down there that you can press to retract the thicket board below the stage.
If I only had a lamp to guide me through this wretched forest, then I could survive.
She's doing great. She's doing absolutely great.
With scratches
I like, maybe I'm just like, you
covering
know,
her arms
biased,
and
but I
legs,
freaking love this.
the
It's
girl
so fun.
pressed through the pain and made her way forward. The road ahead was arduous, but she was determined to press onward.
I've come this far, and I'm not about to turn back now.
Like, I wasn't expecting this. I thought it was like, again, like using the preprints, yeah, but I thought that maybe there would be the actual characters in here, but they're playing characters, I suppose. I love the way they're showing us moving all the props around as well. It's such a cool idea. It's so neat.
Just as she was drawing near her destination, a huge stretch of thorns and brambles suddenly came into view. Despair set in and began to weigh on her heart.
If only someone could help me, I would give anything in return.
The girl's heartfelt
That's a very,
wish
like,
in her
stage play,
moment of
like,
desperation did not go
performance, right?
unheard.
Wait! There's no mechanism for the final thicket.
No?
Ugh, I must have forgotten to check those boards.
According to the story, those thickets should be gone from the stage now, right?
Yes, total oversight on my part.
It's okay. It's okay.
What a
Figure something out.
pity.
Figure something out.
I can help. Traveler, catch.
Yeah? A bomb? Please say it's a bomb. It is!
It's a Jumpy Dumpty.
Well, it worked.
The girl's heartfelt wish did not go unheard. For a Jumpy Dumpty who was passing by.
Added to the
helped
story. It's
to
the
clear a
theater of
path
the
for
unknown.
her.
Oh, thank you, Jumpy Dumpty.
Great stuff. Really great stuff.
And so the girl continued her journey deeper into the forest. But what she found there was not a lamp, but a mage glowing with
mage.
fire. So, just to clarify, it was supposed to be the mage who helped burn a path through the thicket.
Save it for the end, man.
The
Man.
mage took pity on the girl and handed her a bottle.
I mean, it was, in a way, a
The
mage.
mage began
Glee.
to tell the story of how the bottle came into her possession.
The transition, very
The
quick.
fiery mage had an adventurous spirit and enjoyed taking long journeys. On one such journey, while taking rest in an oasis, she found a beautiful bottle by a crescent-shaped lake.
Klee, quick, get in the light.
Oh, she's
She was an extraordinary
There's the alt
mage
outfit, right?
with the power to grant
For
people
Klee?
their wishes. She turned the bottle into a thing
Oh my
of
God.
equally extraordinary power.
so
But
nice.
the only place that it could make wishes come true was inside of the bottle.
And she's like, coming.
Oh, me. Oh, my. Look at this wonderful bottle of mine. It could make a fine toy. But better still,
She's gonna get the word right.
a sojourner's home.
Well done.
The fiery mage blew into the bottle, allowing it to
She's
grant
probably
one
loving this.
single wish
That must be the alt
outside its
outfit.
glass
That's so
walls.
cool. Sweetheart.
Oh, am I supposed to blow into it? Wow, it lit up.
Yeah.
A flame was
She's the
kindled
best.
within the bottle, and it began to glow a fiery red, just like the mage herself.
This is so amazing. This is so cool.
After the mage finished telling her story, she disappeared, leaving only the bottle behind.
Right. Such a cool
magic
silhouette. It
bottle
must
that
be the
can
alt
grant
outfit.
Wishes. And I wish to leave this place and go somewhere where no one will ever find me again.
And then, the bottle seemed to softly inquire.
I don't know.
The flame in the bottle faded as the girl's single wish was granted, and she found herself in the middle of the desert, far away, where no one could ever find her. When the dagger bandit listened to her story, he sighed in disappointment that the flame with the power to grant wishes outside of the bottle had already died.
But this doesn't make sense. If it truly granted my wish, then nobody should have been able to find me here.
Maybe they shouldn't. The desert is difficult and dangerous to navigate, but I was determined to make it, no matter what.
So he got here just with pure determination.
Then take this bottle with you for your trouble. It may be able to grant you your wish, though sadly, only within the confines of the bottle itself.
All I wish for is light.
Honoring the bandit's request, the girl wished for light inside the bottle, and sure enough, it lit up. They found that while the light was only generated within, it could nonetheless shine through the glass and reach anywhere in the outside world.
Even though it doesn't burn as brilliantly as the light that shone before, this is still an extraordinary light.
Yes.
What will you do after I take the bottle?
The story probably like means a lot to him, but to me like the star of this is like
Well, then maybe you should come back
the
with me.
visuals, what they're doing here with this stuff.
With no reason to refuse, the girl accompanied the dagger bandit back to the land where the light did not shine. They brought light to that place, and the darkness was dispersed, and they lived happily ever
Very
after.
like quick ending though, I suppose, but very pretty nonetheless. Of course, they're not going to do a full stage play. Like that would be very silly. If I expected that, I'd be the silly one, to be honest. If I expected like a full 3-hour epic, I'd be the silly one.
And we're done! Seems the show went
Yeah, it was
pretty
cool.
well.
It was really cool. The way they presented as well was really, really cool too. I think one of the things is like, oh, that's the alt outfit. Oh my god.
Unholy night!
Oh my god, you showing off the outfit to us?
Didn't I do great?
Yes.
I felt like I really was the fiery mage.
You did
Wow,
fantastic.
great costume, Glee. As soon as Paimon saw your shadow, she thought straight away, what a cute hat.
Same, but I knew the alt outfit already, so obviously I was thinking of it like, yeah.
Thanks, Mr. Zosimo.
Oh, she's so happy.
Oh, wait, no, I mean, Mr. Director.
That's so, it's so
Mr.
fun to see her just be
Director?
so excited about this outfit, right? And so excited
No
about
one's
this
ever
play.
called me that before. Thank you, my dear little mage. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah, thankfully again.
Miss
Look at her.
Dia said
She's
that
adorable.
she tailored it a little bit so it would fit me. But you are the one who designed and made
She's
it. You're
the cutest,
amazing.
most adorable thing in the history of the
Yeah,
universe.
that's amazing. And it sounds like Adia did a great job too.
It was nothing really. Just one of those, oh no, whatever shall I wear to the
I love her.
ball
I love her.
moments.
She's hilarious.
Sewing comes in handy at times
Yeah.
like that.
Like I wish I knew how to sew. I wish.
Sewing is an art in its own right. You're more talented than you give yourself credit for, Adia.
Yeah, clearly.
Really?
Very clearly. If you did that with Clee's outfit as well. The sewing.
I'm just gonna go for a second. Please.
No, accept it. Accept it. Look at Clee. Look at the craftsmanship that happened here. Look at this. She's adorable.
She gets embarrassed so easily. She really can't handle being in the spotlight.
She mentioned that before, that it's very difficult for
Dia's a
herself.
sensitive person and doesn't have a whole lot of self-confidence. I hope all the excitement hasn't brought her to tears. Oh, I'm a little worried.
That's such an understandable and relatable worry,
I'll go
right?
make sure she's okay. I'll see you all later.
Yeah, and Kokomi going to check on her. Kokomi has been like
So,
not
what
the
did you all think of the play?
like almost like you know like not it's not like we asked her to be that like kind of like role model to everybody, you know what I mean? But like she stepped up to the plate and she's been very good with like everybody in this whole quest so far.
Any thoughts?
Huh? Uh-oh. Time to get serious. Now, are you sure you want to hear what we really think?
Oh, absolutely. I had the courage to ask, didn't I? So,
Oh, no.
don't mince your words. Go ahead. Speak
When
your
someone
mind.
says don't mince your
I can
words,
take it.
they want a little bit of mincing, right? Maybe or not. Maybe he actually does want the
Okay.
criticism.
Paimon will go first. So, the dialogue at the beginning was pretty good, but it ran out of steam as the story went on. Paimon could tell that you ran out of inspiration somewhere along the way.
I think that's a bit of a fair critique, right? Because I feel like even though like I didn't think of that,
The characters were honestly a little bit ridiculous. Paimon didn't get what you were trying to do. The moment anyone started to show any kind of substance, suddenly the scene was over.
okay, I also was saying that I felt like it like went by too fast and had an abrupt ending. So maybe my like little thing earlier, I was like, oh, maybe they're not going for that though. Maybe that is an accurate like way of looking at it. Obviously the thing looked cool and I'll stand by that to the end of my days, but like I feel like maybe that's why I felt like it was very abrupt in some cases and went by too fast in the pacing. Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe me and Paimon shared the same brain cell.
Yes, all very good points, Paimon. I would add
She
that
came back
it's
to
time
criticize.
pay tribute to the series 1,000 Nights. All semblance of a coherent was sacrificed. Plus, I do have to penalize you for the issues with the props.
Miss Adia, what are you doing back here?
Oh, you know, I return like the tide when people start discussing something important.
I adore her.
Especially when it has to do with criticizing
You said you
my
appreciate
show.
that though. You said you appreciate that.
But there was one thing I liked about it. Just one. one, mind you. The story had a good ending.
Edie is even harsher than
You think
Paimon.
so? I thought I was letting him off lightly.
He said he liked your critique, so go for it.
Dia, could I borrow you for a moment?
Look at Glee.
Oh, sure. Excuse me for a moment. Back to you, Paimon. Keep up the good criticism.
Yeah, I think because we did.
Okay, in that case, Paimon did have one other
Spirit, taking criticism on the chin is all part of being a
It
director.
will help.
The ending was all wrong. The girl's motives were clear and simple the whole way through. It was kind of jarring when all she had to say was, I don't know.
I love Paimon giving all these critiques now.
Doesn't anyone else find it weird how her whole community was on the run, but she was only looking out for herself the whole
So even the
time?
good ending wasn't so good. You okay, Zozimos?
I'm fine. I'm not going to improve without feedback. I also learned a lot this time with the chance to be off stage. To be honest, it was a dream come
Alice
true.
needs to see this outfit, by the way, of Klee as well, guys. I'm sorry. She needs to see
You
it.
don't seem upset at all by our comments.
I wouldn't say I'm completely
Oh yeah, it hurts.
unaffected,
Even critiques can hurt
but
even
you're
if they're
only
true,
speaking the
right?
truth. They're all very valid
Yeah,
points.
it can still like affect you.
Still, now that Paimon thinks about it, you did finish the script in a bit of a rush. Maybe we were being a little too hard on
It was
you.
quite ambitious.
That's perfectly fine. Nothing is as important to me as my work on the stage. We all use our imaginations when we're kids, right? I used to play with dolls and my own cardboard cutouts by the light of an oil lamp. The shadows would come to life and dance on the walls. I never got tired of it. Fast forward to now, and in many ways, I'm still that same little kid, lying on his bed, making sound effects. And I get the same joy from running a show now as I did in my little bedroom
That's such a
theater.
sweet way of putting it.
Of course, a director can accomplish nothing without a cast and crew. So on that note, I want you to all know that I am eternally grateful to each and every one of you.
Hey, don't mention it. We had a blast.
Okay, here, take this. Your component, as promised.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's the bottle from the show.
Her little gloves.
The one that lit up when I blew into
It did.
That's right. Can you guess the secret behind why it lights up?
Because Klee's magic.
Oh, maybe there's an invisible fairy inside that opens its eyes when you blow
There you
into
go.
it.
That sounds accurate to me. He's like, do I...
Bingo!
Yeah,
You guessed it.
that was like, do I crush this child's dream or do I give her the right answer, you know?
That should do the trick.
A very
Oh, wait,
interesting
this needs
conversation you
tightening
can
up a
have
little.
inside your own head
Hold
sometimes.
on. This will only take a
Oh,
second.
Kaya's outfit. Something interesting going on over there. Is this the alt we've seen before as well?
Excuse me, everyone. Do you have a moment? Especially you, Zosimos. Idia wants to do a little something for you. She says it'll be a dream come
Oh, really?
true.
A dream come true?
A dream come true?
Yes. She said that as useless as she is, she wants to do something for you as the first person to have heard of your dream of being a director. Her words, not mine.
Very sweet.
I have to disagree, though. I have never thought of Idia as a useless person.
How is this suddenly about me? If everybody is ready, then I'd like to invite tonight's male lead to take the stage.
I think we've seen this all outfit in this hangout, but oh my god, it's actually like really it's very like extravagant, right? The nails are so pretty as well.
Cool! Kaya's turned into the real Dagger fan.
He's so happy as well. It is like he is very pretty. He's very pretty.
Supposed to make the director's day. It's just a
Look
prototype.
at that animation.
costume. Is he that easy to please?
Don't be silly. If I know our director, nothing will make him happier than to see his ideas brought to life by the
So
right
is
actor.
it canonically, is it Idia designed that outfit or she retailored it?
Well, then I'm happy to oblige. Who am I to argue with the star of the show?
Zosimos drew up countless designs and made a few prototypes before landing on this one. It just needed some tailoring to fit properly, so I made a few stitches here and there. I hope the result isn't a
Yeah,
disappointment.
okay. But it's really it's
Perfect.
beloved by a lot of fans now,
Idia.
so
I'm... I'm so touched. Thank you all. You've made me happier than I ever thought I could be.
After seeing his performance the first time, Zosimo's cried tears of joy for the dream come true.
How are you doing? Recovered?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you again, Edea.
Oh, please, don't mention it. Well, now that we have the final component,
Their voice actor
it's
adding
time
in a
to
little
say
voice
goodbye
crack.
for now. Let's head to the core
love
of
the voice
Valoria
actor for Idea.
Mirage and get this place fixed up.
Can I keep wearing my costume?
Oh, please let her.
Please do, by all means. Both of
Oh.
you can keep your costumes. It seems only fair.
That it's such a lovely alt outfit.
Kaya, keep wearing yours too. It looks amazing.
I love their relationship with each other.
I agree with our mage. I'm sure it's not every day you get to play such an unforgettable character.
Yeah.
Sure. I think I can be a bandit for a little longer.
They showed the, by the way, you see here, they showed the alt outfits in the thumbnail. But like, I was wondering when they actually would like wear the outfits. I didn't realize it was going to be for an actual play or something like that. I thought it was going to be something maybe like Alice gave them like all different outfits. I thought we were going to see everyone in a different outfit, but like now it makes perfect sense.
Bye-bye, Mr. Director.
So adorable.
Take care, my dear friends.
So adorable. If anything ever happened to Klee, I would X out of this game and start a new game and then call the directors and say, hey, patch the game so that my next playthrough nothing happens to Klee. That's exactly what I would do. Yeah, a very like sweet moment. Like I'm glad that like some of the stuff I was feeling like, you know, in the middle part there, like where I was feeling like it was like ending a bit abruptly and the ending was a bit abrupt. I'm glad that like they did kind of like validate that in a few ways, because I was kind of thinking like, am I a little bit broken for thinking that, or maybe that wasn't the intention? They wanted to be more abrupt, but I'm glad that it was like, you know, intentionally like abrupt. That's good. That's good. Because I was thinking that maybe that like they just didn't have the time to do a full like stage play, because it did feel like it ended really quickly, didn't it? It did feel like it's like okay, everything's happily ever after. It's like okay, that's great, and the scenes did transition very quickly too. So I'm very glad that they kind of like validated some of my feelings on that as well. Because sometimes it's hard to know. Like, is it intentionally supposed to be quick? You know what I mean? Is it intentionally supposed to be paced like that?
Oh, you and Kale. You got back before us.
The gals.
Yes. Idea had the water droplet send us a message just as the show was coming to an end. So we came back here
Great.
to wait for you.
How is Lessig doing?
Oh, Cleese
He
with
finished
Kokomi
all
as
the
well,
maintenance
dancing with
work,
Kokomi.
But it took a lot out of him. He's now fast asleep in his room.
Oh, I feel a little guilty.
Consider it his atonement. It's only fair that he had to do something constructive before being able to sleep soundly. Seriously, don't waste your concern on him.
If you say so. Okay, without further ado, let's go and fix the domain.
There we go.
Isn't this where we first met Water Droplet?
Yeah, this is the start. I remember this place.
The core
This is
of
where we
Valoria
first came into
Mirage
this
is
world.
the largest streaming projector of all, and this domain is one gigantic preprint.
Whoa, so everything we've seen is created by this? That's incredible. So, to fix it, same process as usual, right? Do we need to use the preprint?
Exactly. Well done. You catch on
Yeah, I
quick.
actually like. I'm gonna miss you quite a bit. I think you're such a
Getting so
fabulous
many times
character.
now.
Let's get going. This
You know
is
what I mean?
the
I
final step.
genuinely think that like I would love to have her more in our lives.
Yay! Suddenly, Paimon's really excited.
The hub consists of these components. All you need to do is place them onto the foundation in the right shape.
The right shape? But we've never seen what it looks like.
It's like a
Oh, don't worry about it. Close enough will do.
What you call them
as long
things?
As it can spin, it'll be fine. Should be
the thing to
fine.
make clothes or whatever, the tailor things or whatever, like a, I don't know, I don't exactly know what they're called. Rumpelstiltskin had one, I think. You know, good old Rumpelstiltskin.
Sometimes you have no standards whatsoever.
Oh, what a guy. And then the robot. It is like a move upper component. I wouldn't even know how this works here. How does this work? Okay, so maybe put that there. And then put the light there. Possibly. There we go. Very cool.
We did it! But why isn't it turning?
The components are back in the core, and the hub is restored to its proper shape again. That's all we needed to do. Like any wound, it just needs time to heal. It'll probably just start turning again one day in the middle of the night when no one's looking.
Really? I thought that with your special abilities, you could get it turning again right away.
What?
Huh?
Special abilities?
All of us are dying to see it. Not just how the domain looks when it's fixed, but also Edea.
Wait.
In her element. I want to see Edea using her magic powers
Okay.
too. I bet they're super awesome. What are you guys talking about? And how is Clean on this, but Paimon isn't?
They're referring to our mascot's true form.
Wait.
As I've said all along, there's much more to Edea than she gives herself credit for. She has a very special power. So,
Is this what I'm? Is this what we were speculating with the eyes and the hair
did
color
you
as
know
well?
this right away, General? I only found out when I was chatting with
Oh my god, there's
Mila.
gonna be so many little things I missed, isn't there?
So our general was the first to notice. It seems like she's more
Well, she is a
perceptive than
general.
she lets on.
I'd say the same about you, Kaya.
Yeah, come on, man.
What the? All of you? No? I mean, I wasn't trying to hide anything from you, I promise. It's just, for people who stumble upon this place by accident, I think my current form is more approachable
Oh
than my
my
true one.
god.
I don't want people
We
to get
we
scared
said
when they
something
see
along
me.
this lines, right? So she
What? What is it? And whatever it is, how the heck does everyone know about it? Well, for one thing, I sensed elemental energy in the residents here.
is she not
But
seeing
none
it?
of them
Is
had
that what we're
visions.
getting at here?
Then my mind started to wander as I was reading a storybook. And suddenly,
Yes, there we go.
since hydroidolins can change into
We
any
said this
form,
about like the blue eyes and the hair and all
why
this stuff. Like
not
it was definitely like
human
a.
form?
You hit the nail on the
Oh
head.
my god.
All right. In that case, please allow me to introduce myself once more.
Oh my god, she's a proper
I am
Oceanid.
an Oceanid who was exiled here when the former Hydro Archon passed away. My name is Edea.
So like,
Wow.
she's like a proper like,
Yeah, you're so pretty.
right, Clee, right?
Now that I'm in my true form,
No.
I suddenly feel a little embarrassed talking to you
So this is
all.
what we were saying. We were saying that like there is like something there with the blue hair and the blue eyes. I'm like, obviously, like I imagine that again. For if you watch this before Fontaine, this is like obviously like even more. Because to me, like it's so awesome that this is the reveal here. And again, like the foreshadowing for Fontaine as well. That we know that this is a distinct possibility. Also, you know, it is very, 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 very interesting to me.
You look stunning. You should be flaunting this look at every
Oh,
opportunity.
Eula, that's such a nice thing to say.
Oh, come on, I'm too shy.
So is everyone here all seeing it?
So does
Which would
this
make
mean that
sense.
all the people we met in
Yes.
here,
Yes.
actually,
That's the eyes and the hair, of
I'm guessing
course.
that the human counterparts to these Hydro alter egos are long gone.
That's right. When they wanted to leave, I took them to the edge of the desert. The components are, in fact, gifts that they gave to me before they left. But I'm always curious about what brings people here. So I used the
Beautiful
streaming
music as
projector
well.
to bring their wishes to life.
This is amazing. This is so amazing.
Power to grant wishes, but only within the confines of the bottle.
Exactly.
It's a truly extraordinary light.
I've just realized something. When the components fell from the core, it appeared as if they had returned to their respective owners. But actually, it was after the components landed where they did that their owners and the things associated with them arose around them to form the different zones. So now that the components have been retrieved, does that mean that all those things are gone?
Wait.
Don't worry, they'll be quite safe.
As long as I remember them.
They'll never disappear. However much we might criticize each other or get into scuffles,
Oh
in
my
this
god.
mirage, they will always be my
It kind of reminds
friends.
me of, again, like the Anne of the Narcissus Cruise quest, like of how, like, you know, with Jacques and all the other characters, like as long as I remember them, they can still take a form again. Like the idea of like remembering people and being alive in people's memories and these different worlds now again, right? Because that's a big part of Fontaine too, was going into these different spaces, these different pockets of the universe, where maybe like Celestia can't even see. This is so cool. Like, this is so cool. So they meant for you to like have like a bigger grasp on all that stuff probably before you went to. Obviously, like it's impossible if you didn't see the event unless you watched the event back. So they obviously made it like, you know, very friendly for people who didn't watch the event. But it's so cool that you guys would have had like all these theories and all this knowledge going into Fontaine of a lot of things. You know what I mean? That like that I probably wouldn't have known, that I didn't know.
I had so much fun in the choo-choo cart and hanging out with Mr.
Oh.
Director. I'll never forget them.
Yeah, memories in this game
Me
are so powerful.
I'll always remember my adventures in this fantasy
I'm glad you had a
land.
good time, Colette. So glad.
Very good. But it's probably time I set
I
this
love
wheel
Adia.
in
I
motion.
adore this character. And the fact that she's like actually no
This
seated.
one's all yours, Adia, our magical mascot. Please work.
Very cool stuff. Yeah, it's just like, and like I'm like, that was the thing we said, because like, you know, the blue hair and the eyes and stuff like that. And I have to ask you guys a question. Did you guys notice this beforehand, or did you guys, how did you pick up on it? Because for me, I picked up on the idea of them possibly being like a mixture of different things, like maybe, you know, seeing it, maybe all this stuff was from the color of the blue eyes and the blue hair and all this stuff, and the connection to like, you know, the Anne quest and all this stuff as well. So I wonder if, and again, I didn't fully understand what was going to happen like all together, like if I was going to be right, or if it was going to be like a different thing or whatever. So obviously, like, it's still like this thing where it's like, oh, it's cool that like it's actually showing the Arno seeing it. So how did you guys pick up on it, and like what were the parts that you guys picked up on?
Huh? That's strange. Nothing happened.
Oh no.
Has it lost some power because of the incident? Oh, crumbs. Not now. Not right off the back of everyone putting me on a pedestal and me acting like this is going to be my big moment.
I love even in those all seeing it, she's still like, you know, herself.
Someone get me a bottle. I'm hiding
No, it's
myself
okay.
away. See you in 100
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
You're already in a bottle.
But yeah, and it's understandable. Like, I love how like she's still very down to earth, even as in this form.
Only way. Now I'll never be able to show you how the Valyria Mirage is supposed to look.
Hold on. I have an
Yeah?
idea.
Yes, General Sangonomiya? I'm all ears.
If it's okay with you, would you let me borrow the Shinro casket from the domain's
Oh, that's what
core?
she was looking for, right?
Ah, the Shinro casket. That sounds familiar. 1 second. Here. Is this it?
It's like it's a clam,
Wow,
a clamshell.
huge
It is, yeah.
shell. It's the relic that Kokomi mentioned earlier. So this is where it's been hiding. It was once a ritual vessel used for making offerings in the Moon Shrine. It's made from the remains of a yokai called the Shinkiro, and it can listen to the wishes of those who come to pray to build up Shinki, which gives it its power. Several centuries ago, the relic was lost when the last prefect of Yashiori died in battle. Its final resting place was unknown. The pearl that goes with it should be able to sense the casket's location. But when, unbeknownst to anyone at the time, the casket disappeared inside the core of the Valyria Mirage, the pearl's light died out. Huh? How come?
Well, imagine it was a sound instead of light. If the room is too big, you can't hear anything from outside the door.
Love the
can you?
explanations.
Oh, I get it now. The shell must have been having too much fun one day and got locked in the solitary confinement room.
Yeah.
I understand now too.
I love the way she
core
relates it
has
to
been
that.
wearing out recently.
It's on her mind all the time.
That's why you were able to follow the pearl all the way here.
Sounds like just like my treasure compasses.
To get back to the story, without the offerings at the shrine, this vessel quickly loses its power. Yet countless people who have visited this
Such a great
domain
shot.
brought their wishes with them and left a small piece of themselves behind.
That's
along
so
with their
beautiful.
gifts. These have the same effect as the offerings at the shrine.
Wow. I never knew this thing was so powerful.
It is. Powerful enough to help you repair the Valyria Mirage with any luck.
But what do I do with it?
It's simple. We just need to awaken it by telling it what we wish for. For example, my name is Sangonomiya Kokomi, the divine priestess of Watatsumi Island. And my wish is to use my critical thinking and strategic planning skills to bring a little more joy into the lives of my fellow Watatsumi Islanders, as well as the lives of everyone I cherish. Itia, what do you wish for?
This can be nice to hear. Very nice from Kokomi as well, because we know that's exactly what she wants and what she's been working towards.
My wish is that all those who have sojourned to the Valyria Mirage in the past will achieve what they truly
Very
wish
nice.
for. Not just in this domain, but out
Very,
there,
very
too.
nice.
Even though I know full well that trying to build a railway in the outside world is just a pipe dream, and that Maimuna will probably just go back to being a scholar. And I know that Zosimos has a lot of improving to do as a playwright. It's going to be tough for him back in Fontaine. Chasing your dreams is hard work. Despite all of that, I still hope.
I love this character so much.
Somehow, someday, they will achieve
That's
their
so
dreams.
sweet. That's so sweet. Is that gonna work as well with this? Oh my god. Oh. Why am I like in tears just seeing Kali and Eula together? Oh no, Klee, don't be upset. Oh, she turned to Kaya when she was a little bit upset. It's probably because this is almost over. This has been an amazing journey for everyone. That's what it was, a big trip.
Okay, the combined power of our hopes and dreams is at your
Klee
disposal.
running up and all. She's adorable. Oh my god. These are all like what they look like before they came into that world. Oh, because she created them in their image in those Oceanids, right? Or they were created as Oceanids in there. That's incredible. The memory of them was created as an Oceanid. Holy hell. Oh my god. So we're gonna see this as... This is so beautiful. There's all the other characters as well. They're gonna see it. The animation's fantastic. It's so good.
Look, the wheel's been fixed.
Oh, I'm choking up like crazy here, dudes. Seriously. Like, this is such a sweet story. And they're all Oceanids. This music as well with this epic scene. This is so incredible. And transitioning into this very fun music as well with all these amazing characters. Was she holding Kaya's hand? She was. Oh, I can't. I can't. I'm gonna miss this character so much. She's so funny and so fun and so sweet. That was one of the reasons I love Genshin so much. This beautiful animation that is a culmination of this entire story that we saw together. And it's such a big, it relates so much to so many quests we would see in Fontaine that I imagine when I was playing those quests in Fontaine, I would have been calling back to this all the time. It's crazy.
Hey, Itia, you're back to normal.
What can be called normal in this place anymore, I suppose?
Everyone's praise and curious questions went to my head. I said so many things I'm so ashamed of, and I lost the courage to live on.
Please don't say that. Yours was a
Yes.
noble wish.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, and you weren't granting wishes for yourself. You did it for other people. I have friends like that too. Other people's hopes and dreams are what motivate them. They'll work tirelessly just to see them smile.
This line here with how everyone, like, and she knows it too, and because she got their values from all those people. Amber, Jean, even all the people in Mondstadt, Tanari, Sino, Farazan, like Kaveh, Alhaitham, all these characters, you know, they would literally like move mountains to make sure Kale was okay. Remember when they were all arguing over where Kale would go to college? Like, that's such, like, you can't tell me that's not like auntie-uncle talk with the parents, you know what I mean? It was such a sweet moment, and of course she knows people like this.
If you ask me, that's one of the most noble things a person
Heck
can
yeah.
aspire to.
Please, no more praise. I'm really not comfortable with it. It makes
But you
me
deserve it.
feel
You deserve it.
so
You deserve it.
ashamed.
You deserve it.
Someone like me doesn't deserve
No.
so many people's praise. It's like
Don't
I'm
say it like that. You're
dreaming.
amazing.
Well, at least the domain is fixed now, and all the components are
Heck
back
yeah.
in place.
What's the matter, Klee?
I suddenly have loads and loads of more wishes. I want to ride the choo-choo cart again and look down from up
Smiling
on top
from ear
of
to
the
ear.
big wheel. Is there a way to get up on top of the wheel,
Is there?
There is a way, but there's only space for a very few people.
That's okay. I can go up by myself.
Wait.
But it'd be more fun with Mr.
I should not
Honorary
leave your
Knight.
side, my lady. Oh my god, it is an honor. It is an honor. An absolute honor, Klee. That is so sweet.
Are we sure about this? It's
I'm
so
afraid of heights, but for any one of these characters in this game,
What
I'll go up.
happens if we
I'll
fall
go up.
off?
I thought you could fly. If it means helping one of these characters, I will get over my fear very quickly.
But Paimon's just
I know, I know.
Don't worry.
Even if you're,
I'll
even
be
if
there
that's
to
not
make sure
true,
no
I'll just
one
take it as
falls
that.
off. I haven't been up there in a long time myself.
Wait, we're actually gonna get to go up? What? So we're actually going on the hub's wheel? This has been like very rare. The way I look at this summer event, I feel like it wasn't as like juicy as like some, because like the last summer event we did before we went to Sumeru had like the stories got deep and in some cases like harrowing and they were wrenching on my heart. I feel like this was like more of just like very like had like very deep stories and like a deep character like idea and all these stuff, all these like moments and deep moments there. But I feel like it was a lot more like of a very singular journey in a lot of ways, does that make sense? Than the last one we encountered as well. Because the last one we had like, you know, crazy identity crisis scenes and stuff like that, which are always going to be very like, you know, look at the castle over there, which are always going to be very, very like, you know, highly emotional, I suppose, as well. But not every one is going to be the same, and I imagine like the next one we're going to watch tomorrow is definitely not going to be the same as this one either. This is crazy, man. How we've been looking at this the whole time and now we're very close to it. It says get on the central hub's wheel. I wonder what that like, is that just like literally getting on the wheel? Beautiful scenery here as well, isn't it? Oh, it's right over here. On the flyway. But it won't let you go there? That's very interesting. Honestly, I feel like everyone can relate to like what's happening now with Ruben, if I'm being honest with you guys. Like, how many times have you done this in the quest and like you're about to do the big epic moment and you're like, wait, this? This? Maybe this? Should I try this? Oh, maybe wait for it to pass by? Maybe. Like when it's at a lower point, maybe? I believe in you. Ruben, I believe in you. Ruben, I believe. Yeah, and I feel like this story was just like, it was like a lot of foreshadowing. But it was a story of like a lot of people like, I guess like accepting the roles, like, because that's what they gave everyone like the roles, but also like there's a lot of acceptance of help There was a lot of like accepting the people around you want to help you and the people around you care about you. And I feel like they had some really perfect characters to like encapsulate that here with the characters that we were here with, you know. There was a lot of like conflict resolution in this, and a lot of conflict and little tiny little bickering as well. But in the end, it's kind of like an appreciation for everybody around you, right? It's like these friends that you have. And this is what we'll do the end talking now, just because we're going up on this thing. But that's what it feels like. Wow.
So high! I can see everything! Idia, next time you need to bring Kaya and the others up here. Sure thing.
But it does feel like it was a lot of like conflicts, mini conflicts that in the end showed how much like you should appreciate the people around you and that the people do like care. And in some cases, helping people can be like one of the most amazing things you can do. Gorgeous. What a beautiful scene to put this in as well.
Whenever people have to leave this domain, I like to come up here and spend some time alone after I've seen them out. They're always overjoyed when they first arrive and start bringing their imaginations to life. But once they realize that they can't take anything home with them, they get upset. Some of them can't bear to leave. Others regret ever setting foot in this
interesting because we
place.
kind of feel that way too, right? We were kind of talking about how like we don't want to leave, and how like the other characters were, you could tell too, that was like it was such a nice trip that it would be more difficult to leave as well.
Do you ever get sad?
Great question, Clee.
I feel lonely at times, but not
Yeah.
sad. A lot of people destroy everything they created before leaving, but some don't, like the residents you met.
Loneliness can just be even worse than being
Before they
sad,
left,
right? Because it can lead to a lot
They asked me
worse.
to make replicas of themselves using hydro-eidolons. Then they tasked these replicas with maintaining everything they built here, as if this was their way of keeping their dreams alive.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know how they're faring in the outside world, but just the thought that one day they might achieve their dreams and live on the outside just as their counterparts
That's amazing.
do in here, that's enough
Yeah.
to make me happy. It feels like I'm here waiting for them in the future, where they've achieved everything they wanted.
You're so nice, Adia.
Really? I just think that every dream, every wish is like a flame in a
No, it's
bottle.
I understand. Yeah,
Whether
it's,
someone is still working
Look at
towards
that
their
scene.
dream or living it already, as long as whenever they think back to that spark of light within them, it still makes them smile fondly. That's all it takes.
Well, I feel super happy right
that's
now.
good.
Then I guess I finally paid Alice back after all these years. Funny to think I've been in the middle of a desert this whole time. It's just a giant muddy swamp.
It's about
to me.
perspective, isn't it? It's definitely about perspective.
I'm to give you a nickname. Mud Fairy. Watch out for Idia the Mud.
Very mystical.
How dare you mock me?
Oh, I love her.
I'll gobble you up
Please,
in one
game, bring her back. Bring Adia back. Bring her back, please.
I'm still embarrassed to have shown you my
Uglier
uglier
side.
but I'm glad the Valorium Mirage is up and running again. This place is going to be bustling with activity
That's
again
fantastic.
soon enough. I hope you'll take some time to enjoy yourselves.
But we still have some dreams to attend to.
I want to get everyone together for one last ride on the choo-choo cart.
We can get the... No. I think that's the end of it there as well. Yeah, it's going to end like in 30 seconds. And Ruben has a really sick outro as well, but I think it might have copyright music, I'm not sure. Guys, like I feel like this like I said, it wasn't as heavy on like the set pieces and stuff, I guess, because obviously we're in a completely different world as it was in the last one. You know, we went, in the last summer event, I feel like we had it was this like crazy harrowing stuff going on that was like, wrenching at our heart in like very, very like horrible ways in some cases. But this summer event really felt like it was like a reaffirming love for everybody, where like everyone started to appreciate the things that they had already around them. And in this case, like we had this like reveal, I suppose, that all the people here were actually Oceanids or Hydro-Eidolons, which like we kind of like suspected there was something like that happening because everyone had blue hair, everyone had the bright blue eyes. But obviously, like since we had already gone to Fontaine, we were able to pick up on that like really quickly. But like obviously like not really quickly, but like as we were going throughout the story as well. I love the set pieces of this whole story. I love how the characters really like influence the story as well. I love the combination of characters that we had throughout this as well. Really, I feel like this was like, you know, not only a story of like, yeah, wanting people to achieve their dreams, but also wanting to help other people. It was a story of like how everyone appreciates the people around them that have helped them. Having people like Kalei here is so good because you have a character who knows what it's like to be someone who doesn't want anyone to help them, but eventually does get that help and realizes how important that is. You have a character like Klee who is constantly has people who support her around here, like Kai or Jean or any character that talks to her, the Honorary Knight. We have Paimon and the Traveler who also like help each other out. And Kokomi who like even though she helps the entire people of Watatsumi Island, and she mentioned that herself, they also support her too in a lot of ways. Also, like Goro asking her to take a break as well. And having a character like Eula as well have a different perspective where it's like this group of I've left my family behind, I've left the aristocrats behind, and now helping someone else go through that as well. It really feels like it's one big story to me anyway about how people can like, you know, be so supportive in life, and the people that are supportive, like, you should definitely hold them close. I love the kind of like as you said, people are saying foreshadowing, I guess it is, that you saw here with the Fontainian stuff. I don't think it would have spoiled anything or like not spoiled anything, but it would have like ruined the experience of the other game, because I feel like it would like nothing changes about like say like what Vaucher did. It's still one of the most horrifically horrible things ever, and it would have been terrifying anyway. And all the stuff with like Anne and stuff is still so pretty when you think about it, no matter what. I really feel like all of this quest was like super like beautiful and fun. Like there wasn't anything in this quest to me, at least for the first like 3 hours that we were doing this of, like towards the end we had some very like emotional stuff. But like, wasn't that there wasn't emotional, because I was like happy, I was smiling, I was over the moon at some points, I was laughing. But I really feel like this had like a very interesting vibe of a summer event, which was like, it really did feel like everyone was going on a trip in the end, right? And it all started with like Alice inviting Klee to go have some fun here. And I wonder if she knew that Klee could have helped out here too. I love Klee's perspective. I love Kai's interactions with Klee. Such a great interaction with each other as well. People said tomorrow is peak. Tomorrow's Summer Quest, the 4.8 Summer Quest, was absolutely amazing. I'm super excited to actually see it as well, guys, because it's something that we didn't get to do with last year, because obviously Fontaine characters were in it as well. So I'm super excited to see how this goes, especially since like we have like a whole host of Fontainian characters who, like, when they smile, they seem like summer anyway. Navia. So I'm very excited to see what goes on with that as well. This was just a really fun time. It was a really fun time mixed with a lot of emotional times with some very interesting lore pieces. And also, like, I loved how they used, again, another world here. Because it's a bit like, if we stop to think about it for a second, we are in this, like, bottle, right? That, again, is another world that we can enter. And just like we have with storybooks before, just like we have with, like, different realms, domains, and all this stuff, it really does feel like this is, like, going to be, like, was very important going into Fontaine as well, which is really, really interesting also. Talking about the actual story itself of Edea, which I think she's just a fantastic character and I really would wish to see her again. I think this is like kind of like what foreshadows a lot of Fontaine in a lot of ways, and like, you know, in a lot of ways like who the Fontainians actually are. And I'm wondering, is it possible that Edea left right before, or wasn't there when like the previous Hydro Archon turned people into humans? Is that a possibility as well? That was something that happened there also. We know for a fact that like what has happened here is that she created like these almost like representations of the people that visited this area, and she cared so much about them to the point that like part of her wish was like that everyone fulfills their dreams. She was even talking about how sweet it was. She was like, I know they're probably just going to go back to doing their usual things, but like when Kokomi gave that clam thing, she was like, oh yeah, I want everyone to kind of like be happy, and I want, and this is like what gave her the power to like turn the world that was turned upside down back right at the right way again. Edea's character is interesting because she created these like representations of the people from the outside world, but also at the same time made them be slightly rude to her at times too. And I wonder if that's like a self-fulfilling prophecy type thing in a way, maybe not, where she's kind of like, if you keep putting yourself down, more other people are going to put you down as well. And I wonder if because she put herself down so much, that's why like everyone was constantly putting her down also. Because why would you want people to put you down? Like, unless she did want that and she wanted it to be kind of this thing where it's like, well, like it's more realistic. It feels more realistic. It seems like a lonely life because she made that place feel very like alive, you know. And we know later on with like, I always go back to the Lyris and the An situation because we know of all the Oceanids that were created into like these to anything, right? And while it's not, there's a difference, I believe, between different Oceanids and stuff again, different creatures who are made of water and stuff. Because I know I probably said Oceanid a lot as well throughout the episode, but I know there's like a difference sometimes. The circular guys can be like, you know, and any water creature can like manifest and has endless possibilities until it's touched with blood. And I believe that's until it becomes human, I believe. And I think in this case, when it came to her, like, manifesting all these things, she created a world here quite like in the way that Marianne, maybe quite in the same, a similar way that Marianne created a story out of all those like creatures as well for Anne, and Anne created a story as well with Jacques and all those characters. But it does like definitely like give you like it's great because it doesn't like give it away like that much at all, right? It just like foreshadows the idea of what's going to be happening in Fontaine, which I think is actually rather a cool thing as well, honestly. The clam thing that Kokomi had is like, I'm thinking that it's possibly, sorry for cracking my knuckles, guys, I'm so sorry, that's probably gonna annoy somebody. I'm thinking that it's like, it seems like it fulfills dreams or wishes or something like that, because, and it seems rather powerful, by the way. It seems so freaking powerful, to the point that it actually seems like how, like, where did you find this thing? Are you going to be able to use this thing afterwards? And also, we know that Alice sent a letter to Clee to come here. So if that item was here, like, and Alice knew about this place, or at least helped with this place, because that's what Idea said, she had to pay Alice back, then, like, Alice has to have known a lot about this stuff, and especially about this item. I'm 100% thinking a Hexen Circle member would know about this item as well, because it seems like a bit OP. You know what I mean when it comes to this stuff too. Yeah, this is very, very cool, guys. This is very, 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 very cool. This whole story. I liked it a lot. The relationship between Kai and Clea, as I said, is one of my favorite things ever. The relationship between everybody, Eula and Kale had a fantastic relationship as well. All the characters with Idea, the stories and things like this as well, that was all really, really cool too. I had a absolute blast with this, actually, going through all of this, and it was so fun. Like I said, like before, it's not as like harrowing or like, oh my god, like this is like such like an emotional torment as it is as other stories, but it still does have its like very emotional tilt to it. Like the loneliness that Idea probably feels is heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking. I couldn't go through it. I wouldn't be able to do that loneliness thing. Like Jesus Christ, like the and to the point that as well, like, you know, having to face, oh, the way she like changed as well, right? Like she was very nervous around people, and she hated people praising her, and she would leave and come back is a very interesting thing now, because she probably could just like go anywhere she wanted in the world, or possibly, but also like she like said to us, like that she took on the form of something that was way more pleasing to us, even though we thought that Oceanids are beautiful as well in that sense also. Yeah, a very, very cool thing. Not cool as in like, oh, I'm happy that she's like lonely. I'm saying like it's a really cool story. It's a really cool story, and Idea's a very cool character, and I hope that we get to see her again because she was fantastic. I had such a blast with her. Yeah, such a blast. If I did miss anything, of course, you can always let me know as well. I just really thought this summer event was quite nice. I love the interactions, and the emotional parts at the end were actually very, very beautiful, like that cutscene. Thank you so much to Tyfire2, Jamie Bull, Janet Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicitas Felix, Yuled, Radish, Anusta, Death Trap, Lynx Markey, Assassin, Jared Beanham, Ruben Masia, Eopsy, True Peanut Butter, Alpaca Juice, and Peter Chelson. And guys, I will actually see you tomorrow for the 4.8 summer event. Bye bye.